Coast today, or out of the Atlantic Coast Conference, Courtney Mosey is the referee. And Brett Conway now ready. Penn State was here in 1923. Oregon was last year in 1958. It's Ricky Whittle from the 8. And he comes back to about the 18. There, the Oregon Ducks will put it into play. Danny O'Neill, in his career at Oregon, had a huge season last year, a little less this year, but the team was more successful this year, as he has thrown the ball for more than 7,000 yards. Opening behind him in the backfield will be Dwayne Jones at fullback and Ricky Whittle, number 14, at tailback. And they will play a lot of tailbacks today. Oregon will send Ricketts, number 3, wide, along with Kristen McLemore. Josh Wilcox, the tight end, also flexes out. Here's your first snap of the day. Penalty flag thrown. They try to bring it inside with McLemore. He picks up a couple of yards, but let's see about the flag. It'll be offsides against Penn State, so there is some anxiety running through the minds and souls of these youngsters. The offensive backs and receivers for Oregon, McLemore, number 1, is a key man. More often than not, the hot man. He is a little guy at about 185 pounds, but he will go down the middle with it. And the idea for all these wideouts for Oregon, first you catch the ball and then you run with it. So they effectively become running backs once they have the ball. So the offsides penalty against the Nittany Lions gives Oregon a 1st and 5 up at the 24. And this is Whittle, 193-pound junior out of Fresno, California, getting just across the 25. Now these are the people that will tell the story of Oregon's fortunes today. The offensive front, Bob Greasy, they got to give Danny O'Neill enough time.
4 new starters in that offensive line from last year. 3 of them were sophomores. They've had a lot of injuries in that group, and they have allowed a lot of sacks. Penn State sacks the quarterback very well, and you are right, they must play well for Oregon to have a chance.
2nd down and 3. It is O'Neill looking to the right. He's got double wide there. They stay with a run. They go to Whittle. He's caught by the ankle. He can't break loose from Willie Smith, and he is taken down after about a yard pickup. So it's a sticky wicket in the middle against this defensive bunch, and Willie Smith, who just made that last tackle, I think will have a big day today because he has grown this year, I think, into a terrific football player. In the secondary, Bob, there's a new man.
Penzinek starts at free safety. Dingle and Doring, Herring and Dingle both out. There's a look at Penzinek. His first career start is the Rose Bowl.
3rd down, first pass thrown wide to the left side to Cameron Ricketts, and Ricketts goes up, one-hands that thing and brings it down.
Wasn't a good throw by O'Neill, but what Oregon needs to do on offense is come out and make first downs and control the football. Keep it away from Penn State and that high-scoring offense.
It is just enough for the first. Put it up on the 34-yard line, and Danny O'Neill is probably pumped, wouldn't you say, at this point. And Whittle bouncing over the right side, finding a little daylight. A penalty flag thrown here, and I think you've got possibly a holding call coming up. And if it is holding, it's probably against Oregon. There's the holding, and it is against Oregon. And let's check in with Lynn Swan.
Thank you very much, Keith. You know, let's try and put that Nebraska-Miami in perspective for both these teams. When I talked to the kids from Penn State, they were a little disappointed, a little depressed. Not that bad. Joe Paterno stressed to these guys, it's the outcome of their season is up to them. They can't depend on anybody else. He felt they would not be down. But I can tell you, when you watch a game like that, you watch it all the way through the 4th quarter, you think what you want is going to happen. Miami's going to upset them, and they don't. You are a little down. If they can get it under control, they'll be okay. On the Oregon side, they said they don't think they can nickel and dime the Penn State team. What they want to do, move the ball and look for the big play to get some points on the scoreboard. Keith?
That was a 12-yard penalty against Oregon. So it moves it back and makes it a 1st and 22. Because holding is a penalty from the off the top. O'Neill's pass down the middle, caught by Josh Wilcox, the tight end. This time O'Neill was on the money to his tight end right in the heart of the field, and he is close to a 1st down.
Well, what Lynn said was they need some big plays, and O'Neill is the guy that has to give it. They've got some speed at the wide receivers, and Wilcox, the tight end, is going to have single coverage a lot during the day. That's a big throw for O'Neill and a big catch for Wilcox.
Josh, Daddy was Dave Wilcox, who's one of the great ones in San Francisco 49er history.
Played the same position.
Yep. Played for Lynn Casanova. And that 58 team that played Ohio State here, and we've got another penalty flag. So the boys from the ACC brought the laundry with them, didn't they? Courtney Mosey with the call.
Dead ball. Delay of the game. Offense. 5 yards.
Dawson is the umpire. Michael Sample is the head linesman. Richie Williams, the field judge. Williamson. John Gutbold, the line judge. Dan Hogue, the side judge. And Tommy Hunt is the back judge. So the Ducks now absorbing their second penalty. They'll be looking at 2nd down and 6, having almost picked up the first down on 1st and 22. O'Neill back, short drop, quick pass, bring it back into the middle, into the traffic, and there's the first down. Caught by Cameron Ricketts. Ricketts is 5'9", 177, sophomore out of Culver City, California.
Ricketts led the team in receptions this year with 36. Oregon needs to hit the game going on all cylinders. They want to take some offensive plays that are sound, but they also want to try big plays, wide open, throw the ball all over the field. They're not going to leave anything in their bag of tricks.
On the 49, first down for the Ducks as they near midfield. Penn State offense is yet to see the ball. This is Whittle. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but shakes off the tackler and gets it across midfield to the Penn State 48-yard line. He got away from Flint Holes, the strong safety.
Brian Miller on the tackle.
Holes is going to be 13, and it's just a good job by the running back to avoid the tackle. Poor tackling by the defense. And the Ducks have what they want, and that is some kind of a drive to open the ball game to get some confidence going for their side.
2nd down and 8. Ball on the Nittany Lions 48-yard line. O'Neill down the middle. Pass is underthrown. Josh Wilcox was breaking free. If O'Neill had had a little deeper drop,
incomplete.
He might well have had 6 points in his pocket.
I think the other thing, too, Keith, is O'Neill thought that Wilcox was open when he threw it, and that Wilcox wasn't looking at the right time. He's an old quarterback.
Played behind Terry Baker at Oregon State.
Yes, he did.
Rick says he played the defense, and Terry played the offense.
Back in the old, when they couldn't substitute many guys, right?
3rd down and 7. That pass is poorly thrown by O'Neill. Intended for Ricky Whittle. What they do is send their tailback out in motion and then bring him back almost with a wide receiver screen like that. And O'Neill did not throw it well. True freshman Matt Meldon then will come in on 4th down to punt for the Oregon Ducks. And Mike Archie goes back for Penn State, standing back at the 10-yard line. Meldon has been quite dependable this year, averaging just under 40 yards per punt.
He's been busy, too. He has 77 punts.
Gets some air under it, and Archie calls for a fair catch at the 16-yard line, where it'll be 1st down for the mighty Penn State offense coming up next.
It has a 16-valve Z-Tech engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class. A Micron air filter to remove dust and pollen, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. Introducing the all-new Mercury Mystique. When we created this car, we pulled out all the stops. The all-new Mystique. It's a whole new Mercury.
Super Bowl, here we come.
Excuse me?
We're driving to Miami. Let's go, carpool pal.
I don't think Mrs. Carpool Pal is going to be too keen.
Tournament of Roses, Cheech Richie Rodriguez. Yes, that's the one and only. The Queen, Alia Hawk, 17-year-old senior, Poly High School in Pasadena. And Chichi flipped the coin. Penn State won, deferred to accept the ball to start the second half. And right now we're about to see what a lot of folks bought tickets for. The Penn State offense against the Oregon defense. The ball is at the 16-yard line. It is first down for the Lions with Milne and Kajana Carter lined up in the backfield. Brady Scott is the man in motion. Here's Carter. And breaks it. He's gone. Goodbye. It'll be touchdown, Penn State, first play of the ball game. It goes into the books as 83 yards. They had him, they fought, and then he was gone.
I was going to tell you he's explosive, but you can see that. He breaks the tackle of O'Berry, number 4, right in the hole, right here. He breaks the tackle. Everybody else has got a man in their face, and he is not going to be caught from behind. Gained over 1,500 yards rushing, 1,000 yards each of the last 2 seasons. Penn State leads the nation in scoring offense, and that is one of the reasons.
Brett Conway for the point. It's good. Oregon held the ball almost 4 minutes. Penn State ran one play, and they lead 7-0.
This is Red Dog beer. It's not ice brewed, fire brewed, and it's not some nursing sipping red. It's just genuinely good beer.
The record held by Tyrone Wheatley of Michigan against Washington in the '93 game when Ty went 88 yards. Kajana just went 83 officially. Now Penn State will kick off to the Oregon Ducks, who have tasted reality. Out of the end zone, no. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Penn State on their first possession had moved the tight end, caused some confusion out here. Look, there is nobody in the center of the field as the ball carrier is going to come this way. Nobody's deep to get some help. O'Berry is in the hole. He breaks one tackle, and there's nobody. There's a little bit of confusion, and they were blitzing. Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator, says, we're going to gamble. We're going to blitz more than we have ever blitzed before, and when you do that, sometimes you win big, and sometimes you get burnt.
Dino Filio, number 12, is now the tailback. Whittle had the first series. O'Neill's pass complete to Josh Wilcox. Wilcox, the tight end, who's a little faster than you might suspect, has the first down for Oregon, and one of the Lions is shaken up.
It's Penzinik.
So you've got time for the injured player, and tomorrow night on ABC, the new year brings new episodes of all your Tuesday favorites: Full House, Me and the Boys, Home Improvement, Grace Under Fire, and NYPD Blue. Happy New Year tomorrow night here on ABC.
1st and 10.
Pristine day about the city of Pasadena. San Gabriel's hovering over the old oval in what was once a dry wash, but now a playground for the San Gabriel Valley region. And Penzinik will come off the field. And Lionel Fayard will replace him.
Penzinik is the one that we mentioned as you take a look at Fayard. Penzinik was making his first start in this Rose Bowl, number 29. He gets hit right there. He was starting in place of Cliff Dingle, who was out. Kim Herring also played at free safety. And then Brian King. Josh Kroll also was scheduled there. So now they're down to their 6th free safety.
O'Neal is back to throw, setting up a screen. Pass to Filio. Filio's on the sideline. Great speed. Comes out of Dudley, North Carolina. And he's got a first down for the Oregon Ducks inside the Penn State 35. Very, very important here for Oregon to answer Penn State's lightning bolt.
This is going to be a wide open game. And I like the call. Mike Bellotti, the offensive coordinator, he knows he has to make some yardage and make things happen. He opened the game with a wide receiver screen and then another screen. Look at the block there.
Big old Eric Reed laid one on him, didn't he?
71. He's about 290 pounds out in front of him. There's Bellotti, the offensive coordinator. Both coordinators said, we can't sit around and wait. We got to go out and fire our best shots early.
Play clock had just about run out on Oregon, and rather than take the penalty, they spend the timeout at 10:34 to go in the first quarter.
Every day than any other. The all-new Mercury Mystique drives like no other car in its class. With four-wheel independent suspension, a 16-valve Z-Tech engine that delivers the best highway fuel economy in its class, as well as 14 other features not found on any other car in its class. As for the rest, class dismissed. Drive the all-new Mystique. It's a whole new Mercury.
A brilliant idea never starts out brilliant. It starts out ridiculed. Because it's different and people haven't seen anything like it. Be unreasonable. Insist that it can be done. Show them how. This is the software that helps you show them.
Primetime moves to Wednesday. If you think pharmacists don't make mistakes, you could be dead wrong. Learn how you can protect yourself. Sawyer, Donaldson. Primetime moves to Wednesday.
The Goodyear Blimp Eagle out of Carson, California, with Joel Chamberlain at the controls out of Norwood, Mass. is bringing you those pictures. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle soaring over. The cameraman is Glenn Hampton. Hi, guys. Happy New Year to you. All right, here's Oregon. First down, Penn State, 34-yard line. Danny O'Neal back to throw it. He has time. He has a man. Wilcox, he's at the corner. Out of bounds, just short of the 1-yard line. So Josh Wilcox, the tight end, almost sneaked in for 6.
What you got, watch, he's going to sit up and pump. Right here, the corner bites. What you've got is the tight end lined up wide on Forbes, number 46. Forbes is the extra cornerback covering a tight end. He says it's a piece of cake. They throw it deep to the tight end, and Wilcox is the star of the offense so far for the Ducks.
O'Neal 6 of 8 now at 118 yards, and Oregon is knocking on the door.
How new we're looking, you love how hot we're cooking, yeah. You love the stuff we made up, you love how fresh we make it, you love how fast we take it. You love the stuff, you love the stuff, you love the stuff we made up.
Easy to drink. You're your own dog. Oregon ready from the 1-yard line. First and goal. Play goes into the middle, and the Lions stuck it. May have lost on the play. And a penalty flag on top of it. Phil Yaw tried the center of the line, and he ran into a bunch of trees. Offsides, Penn State. 4:32 having elapsed in the ball game. The total yards in the first 4:32, 207 yards.
Here's a look at what Oregon has done inside the 20. 39 of 44 is doggone good. And look, Penn State defensively, they're 70th in the nation on defense. They are first on offense, but 70th defense. So there's Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator. He's had a lot of injuries, but they have given up 29 or more points in 3 of their last 4 games.
O'Neal will throw it. Has his man. Touchdown, Wilcox.
It's only right. Wilcox did a lot to get him down there. Here's Wilcox here. He's going to slide to the outside as the ball is play action faked. Watch as he's going to hit him to the outside. Second down and short. Still a good down to throw on. Wilcox wide open for the touch.
Matt Belden is in for the extra point to tie. Got it. Josh Wilcox is going to owe me supper. Because when I visited, I sat with him and told him he could have a big day against the Penn State defense.
Tylenol has been my pain reliever for as long as I can remember. I counted on it when I was working and when I became a mom. But since I started...
Like Archie and Ambrose Fletcher, numbers 2 and 25, respectively, waiting for the ball. Belden, a freshman from Glendale, Arizona. Oregon going 80 yards, 4 plays, took only 45 seconds. 3 passes to Wilcox, 1 pass to Phil Yaw. 1 run that didn't go anywhere, but they got an offside call on it. Hicks got a lot of air under it, not too deep. Taken by Fletcher. And some pretty good licks laid on out there as he comes out across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Kerry Collins, big guy, weighs in at better than 230 pounds, 2,700 yards almost. 21 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions.
Great year for the young man, Keith. He was the top-rated passer in the country, and he was my choice as the surprise player of the year. He wasn't rated in the top 20 of the quarterbacks at the start of the season.
Second offensive play of the game for Penn State. Now, I bet you the Ducks know where Kajana is. Collins back to throw it. Throws underneath to the fullback out of the backfield. Brian Milne, and he's wrestled down at about the 27. One other point on Kerry Collins. He is the only Penn State quarterback ever to lead the nation in passing. There's Carter. You know all about him. John Whitman is normally your fullback, except today Brian Milne steps up. Ingram and Scott, very, very good wide receivers. Kyle Brady, thought by many to be the top tight end in the country. But Josh Wilcox has set a pretty good standard so far in this ball game from the Oregon side. Brady hasn't seen the ball yet. Into the middle goes the fullback, Milne. Joe Paterno said the other day, he says, you know, people don't say much about our fullbacks. But he said, I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them gone in the pro draft before we get very far into the second round.
Next year, they're both juniors. They'll be back.
Yep. Jeff Hardings is the man who leads that offensive line for Penn State, and it's an offensive front that is very good.
Harding's an All-American. In fact, 5 All-Americans on this offensive unit for Penn State.
Lions have a first down, 37-yard line. Carter's second carry of the ball game, and this time the Ducks get a hold of him. They got him just about the line of scrimmage. The defensive front for the Oregon Ducks, Bailey, Malapai, and Slyman, but it's those 2 linebackers in the middle that have got to fill the cracks, Rule and Asher, and if they don't step up and fill the cracks, you're going to see a lot of Carter's back. Jeff Sherman and Chad Cota, the safeties, very, very strong people down the middle in the defensive secondary. The corners are good, too. That pitch is swung out to Carter. Number 56 over there in a hurry to get a piece of it. And Troy Bailey, the defensive left end from Honolulu, got enough of Carter to slow him down.
The strength, Keith, and you mentioned it, this Oregon Duck defense, their defensive backs, they have a lot of good players defensively. They try to get nickel and dime, 5 and 6 pack defensive backs in there, that package, as soon as they can.
You see the great balance of Carter. Bailey is not easy. He's 270 pounds. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for Penn State. And the defense bouncing around, and Kerry Collins looks at the play clock, and it's down to 2. And so Nick Aliotti's defensive people bouncing around, forcing Collins to have a look, and he had to spend the timeout rather than take the penalty.
They've always blitzed, but he said we got to blitz more than we've ever done before.
As we told you earlier, it was 1958. The Oregon Ducks last appeared in the Rose Bowl. The coaching staff numbered 5 coaches. Cass came down with a team that not very many people had heard much about. But he's been to big games before. Johnny McKay was one of his coaches. Dave Wilcox, the father of Josh, was one of the players. John Robinson was playing end in that ball game, coached there for a dozen years. But this Oregon team came down and played national champion Ohio State. They lost, but only by 10-7.
They've had some pretty good coaches up there, assistant coaches. George Seifert, the head coach of San Francisco 49ers, was an assistant there, and Norv Turner, who was with Dallas and now with the Washington Redskins, was on the staff at the Ducks for a while.
Now let's spend a moment with Lynn Swan.
Yeah, Keith, on Chuck Pinjanick, number 29, he just got the wind knocked out of him, but number 24, Tony Pickman, has a bruised shoulder, the cornerback, and number 36, Cody Carlson, on the first play of the game for Penn State, got his nose broken. They've been working on him, so whatever we may have thought about the University of Oregon Ducks, they have come out to play physical football.
Oh, they'll pop you. It is 3rd down and 8 now, and Mike Archie is in the backfield, a very good pass receiver for the Lions. He goes in motion, and Collins is back. Pressure's coming. They're after it. He throws it to the ground. That's exactly what Oregon wants to do. The referee threw a penalty flag. Jeremy Asher was the man who got to him. He's an inside linebacker who stepped outside. But let's see about the flag.
Watch the defensive line here, Keith. This is what the quarterback's going to be facing all day. Am I going to blitz or am I not going to blitz?
Well, he calls Collins here for grounding, too.
Yes, he does. No question about that. The problem is not only confusion with the quarterback prior to snap, but confusion amongst the offensive linemen and the backs on who to block.
All right, Herman O'Beary, cornerback, goes back to receive. It's a 21-yard penalty and a loss of down, so the Lions, for their punt, go back inside the 20. And Darrell Kenya will do the punting. 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. It is a 7-7 ball game. The very first play for Penn State. Kajana Carter went 83 yards. Ducks came right back. Kenya's kick is out of there. It's a good one. Fielded by O'Beary, and he is taken down almost in his tracks. That is very good coverage by Penn State's Chuck Penzenik. 42-yard punt and a 2-yard return. As Oregon comes to the ball again, in conversation with Coach Rich Brooks, I asked him what kind of a game would he like to play.
Well, I would like to have a game where Penn State on first down is stopped to where they're either 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 at the very best. If we're able to control Penn State on first down, I believe we'll be able to get in to do the things that we do well on defense. And offensively, we're going to have to score a lot of points because it's unrealistic to think Penn State isn't going to score some points.
Well, that second defensive series for Oregon pretty much went just that way. It was Kristen McLemore catching the ball on that last offensive play and picking up 5 yards. So the ball rests now at the 47 of Oregon, where it is 2nd down and 5. 7-7 tie. There goes Whittle. He now becomes a wideout as he breaks into the open on the sidelines, catches the ball, gets the first down. In front of Tony Pittman.
and that's a nice throw by Danny O'Neill. O'Neill was a 4-year starter at Oregon. The all-conference quarterback has not thrown an interception the last 4 games of the season. Started out a little slowly. The turning point for him was when he was sick, out of the game with a finger injury. His team went down to University of Southern California, beat him in the Coliseum without him, and he said, hey, that's a good team.
You've got Whittle and Phil Yaw both in the backfield right now for Oregon. O'Neill pumps it. He takes it down the middle to the tight end. Wilcox again, and Wilcox moves it inside the Penn State 35 for a first down. Tight end was wide open right down the middle of the field.
That's a little trick there. They had a little trick. Pull out all the stops. Watch the tight end right here. He's going to fall down, let everybody go away from him, and then he's going to watch him fall down. That's your fall down play. Linebackers forget about him, comes back in the middle. They're pulling out all the stops there early in the game.
Oregon's Danny O'Neill now 10 of 12 for 143 yards, 1 touchdown. He's thrown to 5 different receivers.
You know, most teams have that play. Either a little fall down screen or a fall down sneak in the middle. It always works. I've never seen where that does not work.
Chain gang was late to get a start. Somebody had to say, hey, guys, we're down here. You're up there. Come on down and join us. He's hit 7 straight passes, has O'Neill. What a bright, shiny youngster he is. It's an absolute pleasure to spend time with him. You got a double tight end, Blake Spence and Josh Wilcox sharing the position. They both play a lot. O'Neill is back. Lets it go down the middle. This will be intercepted. It is picked off by Chuck Penzinik. He threw that one up for grabs. That was a bad decision to let it go because Chuck was sitting back there playing center field, and he threw it right to him.
Well, Penzinik, who was injured earlier in the game, gets his first interception. And O'Neill, the first interception in the last 5. There's Penzinik right there, just going to back up, play his eyes. Poor throw, obviously, by O'Neill. He had an open receiver going across the field.
He did have some people in his face, though. I mean, Penn State folks get in your face. They're big.
Sometimes you try to take advantage of a position, the free safety position, and you don't read the coverage.
Here goes Carter. And DeGunna on his second effort. Again, they thought they had him, and 2 yards later, they finally do. First hit was by Bailey, but Bailey didn't hold him. You got to wrap this man up, boy. I tell you, you got to put the lock on him.
Well, here's the last interception by O'Neill, and you don't always have to sack a quarterback. Just get close to him and get in his face where he's going to throw a little bit earlier than he'd like to.
Second down and 6. Here comes stumbles a little bit this time, and the Ducks get him short of the line of scrimmage. Mark Slyman.
The ball carrier.
And Reggie Jordan were the 2 principal tacklers on the play. And so as we hit the 6.5-minute mark to go in the first quarter, we've got a 7-7 tie. And we've got the beginnings of what looks like might be a fair to Midland contest. The question is whether or not Oregon's manpower can hold up through the full 60 minutes. But it's a cool day, refreshing day. Penn State's third down conversion rate on the season was 53%. Kerry Collins looks deep, goes underneath. Ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Number 93, Slyman, slapped it aside. And it's 4th down for Penn State.
Penn State offensively is used to coming out and being very successful early.
Joe Paterno, and when I talked to him about Oregon, he said they hang around, they hang around, they hang around. First thing you know, you're in the 4th quarter, and they make plays. I have to fetch up that soundbite and let you hear it, because he's right on the money. And 4th down. Here's the kick by Kenya, another pretty good punt. Herman O'Berry back, takes it on the run. And comes back across almost to midfield, to about the 49-yard line. Penn State thought he was going to let it roll, and he grabbed it and took off. Here's what Joe Paterno told me last week in talking with him about what he saw in this Oregon football team.
They're extremely well coached. They're very intelligent, play situations really well. And offensively, they just hang in there and hang in there and hang in there, and then all of a sudden they're in there, they're right the next year in the fourth quarter in the next place, and they beat you. So I mean, they're a gutty football team. They're really a bunch of tough, good kids.
This is Whittle, and he gets to the 45. It's the best starting point of the ball game for either team from their own 49-yard line, and that's a pickup right close to 6 yards for Whittle.
Big offensive lineman, Steve Harden, number 77, was pulling out in front of him. He didn't hit anybody, but they were all running around him.
Well, he's so dadgum big, it's like trying to get around a corn crib on wheels.
He's 324. He didn't hit anybody, but he helped the runner because everybody was running around him.
There's contact and penalty flag. Coming up tonight, the grand finale of our bowl triple header as the Florida State Seminoles and the Florida Gators meet in a rematch of this season's dramatic tie, the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl game. Coming up, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, following the Rose Bowl here on ABC Sports.
Defense, offside, 5 yards, first down.
That'll be a first down for Oregon on the contact along the line of scrimmage by the Penn State defender. Time remaining first quarter, clock stopped at 5:10. Change move. Those chains are kind of slow to move. Ball is on the 40. That's the fourth penalty by the Nittany Lions. One of the things you worry about, sometimes you're sharp, sometimes you're not quite so sharp for a while when you come back after a layoff. O'Neal steps away, gets away, picks up some real estate on his own. Actually, he had McLemore breaking loose on a corner, but by the time he picked him up, it was too late. And so he ran away from the hot breath of the pursuers.
O'Neal is kind of nifty. He can scramble. He just doesn't scramble around behind the line of scrimmage. If he gets out and there's some yardage to be made, he can cross the line of scrimmage. Mike Bellotti, the offensive coordinator, doing a nice job with the talent. A lot of skilled players, a lot of speed at those positions.
Dino Filyaw, the single back, McLemore's number 1. He's in motion. Call on the 34. Pressure coming. O'Neal better hurry. Dumps it in a hurry. Gets it to Filyaw. He's down the sideline. And a first down around the 15-yard line for the Oregon Ducks. Pretty close to being 6.
That's a nice play. I like this play. Everything goes away from our camera position here. The back goes to that side and then swings back. O'Neal makes a little fake. It's a nice-looking play. One of the things that Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, says concerned him is that things that are new that he hasn't seen before. He knows a team that's a big underdog might come out with some new things, and he's seen a few of them already here this afternoon.
First down at the Penn State 15-yard line. That ball is thrown to Filyaw. It is out of bounds. Did he have possession? No. Incomplete forward pass. He had one hand on it and never got control of it. I thought they had 2 men moving myself. I thought they had Wilcox moving, and I thought somebody at the top of it might have been going too.
A lot of screens. This is another screen. Fake the draw. Swing it wide. You got to trust your quarterback on something like that. Good call. He never had possession.
Second down and 10 from the Lions' 15-yard line. After that lightning bolt by Carter, Oregon pretty much had control of this first quarter. That ball is thrown to Filyaw. He puts his head down and finds his way to the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and 5. Tony Pittman, number 24, making the hit for the Lions. Tony Pittman was one of the scholarship winners.
Yes,
outstanding academics.
3.57 in industrial engineering.
Gain of 5 yards.
Son of a great Penn State player himself. Third and 5 for the Penn State 10. Shotgun. Give it to Filio over the left side. Down close to a first down. Depends on the mark. Ben Stewart brought him down.
Ben Stewart making the tackle.
And I think he's just short. Belden will come. They will take the 3 rather than risk not getting the first down at the 5. And they're almost a full yard short of it. So Belden is out to try the kick. Ryan Perry-Smith will hold it. And Rob Williams will snap it. 23-yard field goal drive. He's 6 of 6 inside the 24. He missed it. Oh my goodness. Never got anything on the kick.
23-yard field goal attempt.
Whipped off. And he missed it. And 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Nittany Lions dodge at least a small caliber.
Well, that's a tough break for Oregon in that they had a chance to put some points on the board after a nice drive. He just pushes it to the right. He's on the hash mark where you might think he'd pull it to his left, but he just pushes this one wide to his right.
All right, here comes Penn State from the 20-yard line. Kerry Collins back to throw it, has all day. Now he lets it go, and the pass is caught by Bobby Ingram, and here's the penalty flag. And you're going to get a flag thrown on Reggie Jordan for hitting Kerry Collins late. He threw a rope after he surveyed the field 3 times.
Yep. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Jordan got there late, and that makes it a huge play.
47. Number 47 is Jordan.
Well, they're holding him. Well, it's just too much enthusiasm. You didn't need to throw him down.
Maybe he was frustrated because he was being held. Who knows?
First and 10.
So, give it a first down. Big play out to the 48-yard line. And Penn State to the ball. 7-7 tie. Headed for 2 minutes to go. Give it to Carter, working in the middle. And he gets the ball down to the Oregon 45-yard line. And here's Lynn Swan.
Chad Cota making the tackle.
Keith, number 50, Salila Malapia, the starting nose tackle. He came out, not of this defensive series, but the last one, limping. He hurt his left knee. It's an irritated medial collateral, and the team trainer said he hurt it in the middle of this season, so he's really irritated, an old injury. We have to watch him to see if he can continue on that left leg.
He'll play. Salila Malapia, he's in there. From Honolulu. In the middle goes the fullback. Ryan Milne, 253-pounder, and he can pound on you.
Making the tackle.
And he almost got a first down as he picks up the better part of 3 yards on the carry.
2 yards.
So it'll be third down and a short one.
Malapia, he's going out on passing downs, the nose tackle. He is the inspirational leader. Everybody looks up to him. He gets them going.
If it's 3rd and 1, seems to me you'd want the big guys in there.
You're right.
Kajana. Or when he plants that cut foot and heads upfield, he comes hard. That's a first down for Penn State at the 38-yard line. Jeremy Asher on the tackle.
Jeremy Asher on the tackle.
Here's a look at the Nittany Lions in the Big Ten. They lead in every offensive category. They've given the ball away the fewest times. Third down conversions, they're the best. And they're the best at protecting their quarterback. Randy Ganter is the offensive coordinator. Dick Anderson is their quarterback coach, passing games coach. They've done a great job with these young men.
Collins, pressure, pass away, tied in. Kyle Brady, first time he's seen it today. Jeff Sherman takes him down at the 35-yard line.
Kyle Brady.
Chad Cota and Jeff Sherman, the safeties, are the people who have the responsibility of that big old tight end, 6'6", 260 pounds.
There's Cota right there, Keith, the strong safety blitz. When you get a blitz, you should throw in the direction where the blitz came from, because that's where the coverage is going to be a little void. That time Sherman did a nice job, the free safety, moving over to help out Cota.
We've played a quarter at the 81st Rose Bowl. We're tied at 7. The Nittany Lions are starting to move again.
Ahead of you,
Out of one-on-one, so there should be some big play opportunities.
Here's Kajana Carter carrying the ball in the middle. And they finally wrestle him down, but again, he's got about 6 yards, and here's 20.
Keith, you know, when Carter comes out of the ball game, Penn State's never going to miss a beat because Archie's a terrific back, not quite as explosive as he is, as Carter is, but very flamboyant. Pitts is a third back, quiet, but when he gets in the ball game, he is all business. We should probably see all three of them play to keep Kajana Carter fresh and watch the Penn State Lions try and rack up some yardage on the ground. Keith?
Carter, 7 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown so far. Flips and down he goes on one knee back at the 34. So he's back to a yard beyond the original line of scrimmage. Lost his footing. And that feels very good. There's nothing wrong with that field.
That was
put such pressure on it.
Yeah, that was a design to fake to one side and then go back the other way, and he just slipped on the turf.
Archie back now. It's a passing down on 3rd and 11. As we told you a while ago, Archie's a very good receiver. Junior out of Sharon, PA. Ducks coming after him. Collins slips and doesn't go down. Pass to the end zone. Scott had it on his fingertips and couldn't hold it. Alex Molden, I think, got a piece of it. Jeff Sherman was there, but I think Molden tipped it just a little bit, and Freddie Scott otherwise would have had 6. He is a very good receiver.
Collins does a nice job. He slips on the turf, but this ball is well thrown. I don't know if it's tipped or not.
Yep,
yeah, it was tipped.
Just a little. Yep. Alex Molden, just got a finger.
Underthrown, just a tad.
So it's 3 plays in a row. The Penn Staters have slipped a little bit here, so maybe they'll be changing shoes. Brett Conway for a field goal try from the 36 for 46 yards. He doesn't get it. The Oregon Ducks celebrate their defensive effort as they turn Penn State away. At 12:26 to go in the first half, a 7-7 tie.
Bud Bowl's on. Gotta build a TV. Oh, I'm not gonna miss this. Oh, no. I'm gonna build a wide screen with color. Stereo sound. Then we're gonna build the big speakers.
At the end of 1, Bud Light leads 7-0. One action. Get your game card where you buy Bud and Bud Light.
This is amazing.
You could win $1 million.
Yeah, but something's missing. Now what are you guys looking at?
I love your books. I'd like to see them breathe.
Peter's talking to a Hollywood big shot.
I'd like to see them come to life. I'm thinking big screen.
3,000 miles away, and you can see his face in perfect detail, unfortunately.
Personally, I feel like we're a family already.
Personally, I don't want to be in his family.
Sounds good. Yeah. I'd like to see it fleshed out a little.
Watch your pockets, guys.
Here in Ohio, we tested the new Honda Accord V6 and discovered that the car more people buy than any other is now better and quicker than ever before. Now, why would you want a car that lets you get away so fast?
You're late.
You got your reasons. The new Accord V6 from Honda.
What do the big game, the big bang, the big voice, and the big adventure have in common? Find out on the Doritos Super Bowl halftime show on ABC.
Getting a little hazy out looking toward the ocean. Working through the mountains, the Santa Monicas and the San Gabriels. And nestled down here in quiet comfort, the Rose Bowl filled with 100,000 folks. Jones and Whittle in the backfield behind Danny O'Neill now. Oregon ball, first down, 29-yard line. O'Neill back, gets the pressure, gets his pass off. Pass is caught by Jones out of the backfield. Made something out of nothing. Kept looking around, found his safety valve, and completed the pass for 7 yards. O'Neill now is 13 of 17. He has a touchdown. He's been picked once.
He was 12 of 16 in the first quarter alone, so the Ducks are throwing the ball, and they're getting their yardage a lot of times by throwing it short to the backs and allowing them to run, but the passing game is primary with O'Neill.
Dameron Ricketts and Kristen McLemore to the left side. O'Neill getting pressure. Willie Smith. They throw it to Ricketts. He can fly, and he is caught from behind. If they don't get him, Brad Scioli, if Scioli doesn't get him, he's gone.
This is the wide receiver screen that Oregon loves to run. That's McLemore. He's going to clear out, and Ricketts will come into the picture and catch the football. Now, Scioli's a defensive lineman. He comes back, number 5. He's the biggest defensive lineman you'll ever see, but he's a defensive lineman. Comes back and saves a big play for the Ducks.
Brad Scioli can run. As Josh Wilcox being helped from the field, taken up. That's a hole.
Well, they can't afford to lose him. He caught 5 balls in the first quarter.
It's first down, Oregon, 45-yard line. 7-7 tie. Second quarter of play. O'Neill gives to Whittle. Oregon, he slipped a little bit when he planted to make his cut, too. So it's, they're looking to Wilcox. You don't like to see that because sometimes that says concussion.
Remember what happened? It looks like he did get hit in the head, and if that's anything like a concussion, he's kind of a loose wire anyway, isn't he, Keith?
Yep, he's a live wire, no doubt about that. Second down and 7. O'Neill turns, throws over here, pass is caught by McLemore. Trying to set a screen for him, and he's short of the first down by a yard. Brought down by Phil Yeboah-Cody, linebacker who defended his zone well.
The linebackers for Penn State are the strength of this defensive unit. Yeboah-Cody, Gelsheiser, number 16, and Willie Smith, all 3 of them. Outstanding players, all conference players, first or second team. Gelsheiser, 16, led the team in tackles the last 3 years.
Third down, a yard and a half. They run for it, give it to Whittle, won't get there. Ricky Whittle is hit almost before the line of scrimmage by number 8, Jason Collins, the strong safety who had come up and broke on the play from the line of scrimmage. So the Ducks will have to punt it. Mike Archie will be the deep man as Matt Belden comes in for the punting. There's Archie. 205-pounder. He stands 5'8", which gives him that blocky, stocky look. He can move it. Good snap. Kick is away. Good kick. Very high. Archie with a fair catch ball at the 12 on his knees. And at 9:43 to play in the first half, we're tied at 7, and the Lions have the ball.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Nothing.
Then you just love the wind through your hair.
What I have left.
In all the world, there's one airline that has more flights every day than any other.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Boy, that McDonald's Egg McMuffin sure smells good.
95 cents, please.
Yeah, we know. 95 cents for the breakfast bargain.
Farm fresh egg, Canadian style bacon.
Look, just give me 95 cents.
No. You keep yours. We'll get our own there, Colonel Coin Collector.
Break in 95 with McDonald's 95-cent Egg McMuffin. A hot, fresh Egg McMuffin or a tempting Big Mac for just 95 cents.
You don't understand. I need 95 cents.
What does she need 95 cents for, Jerry?
Yeah, she's already got Egg McMuffin.
Only through January, so hurry.
What are we, a change machine?
On this day in sports history, baseball legend Brett Sooner got his 200th hit. For more historic moments, watch a whole new ball game next Monday here on ABC.
Here's a look at the possessions of the Penn State Nittany Lions. They usually script the first 20, 25 plays. First drive wasn't hard, that long run, 83-yard touchdown, but since then, not much production.
All right, let's see what Nick Aliotti decides to do here with his defense. Penn State ball back on the 12-yard line. Carter is the deep man. Here comes Bobby Ingram on a reverse. Chad Cota takes him down at the 17. Gain 5 yards. Chad Cota, the strong safety.
Cota is the, well, they say he's the glue. Aliotti says he's the glue that holds that group together.
Yeah, he's their MVP this year.
Exactly. He's the team most valuable player. He is making his 43rd consecutive start. And he, there you are. Those are the two.
It's his 5th tackle. Just so it makes in the ball game.
He is a player.
2nd down and 5. Pajana and Carter losing the football, didn't he?
He sure did.
Oregon, I think, had their hands on the ball. Now, whether they kept it or not, I don't know.
Well, the ball was out. He was not down. Ball was out early.
Oh, I think somebody blew a call. Let's see it.
Well, I don't think any of the officials saw it.
They didn't see the ball loose.
Yeah, they didn't see it. Right there, the ball's on the ground.
3 yards.
Left side, ball is out on the ground, but who gets it?
50 coverage. Who got it? I don't think the officials knew the ball was out.
None of the officials saw it.
No. So Penn State keeps it 3rd down and 2. And Kerry Collins sees the play clock expiring and comes to the sidelines after calling timeout and says, hey guys, you gotta get me the plays quicker.
Well, that's for sure.
That's Penn State's last timeout too in this first half, and there's 8:44 to play.
What a party. All of Hollywood is here. You know that HBO movie you love so much? Don't look now. The director is right over there by the sculpture. I've just got to meet him.
The man is a legend. Check that. He's a genius in the making.
Excuse me. Do you have any idea how excited I am to meet you?
No.
I loved your last film. It was so gutsy, intense. No one else makes movies like that. I can't believe I'm actually standing here talking to you.
Neither can I.
I have to tell you, that HBO movie really spoke to me.
HBO talked about movies. Movies that matter. HBO makes them, and you don't want to miss them.
Don't tell me you didn't direct that.
Don't worry. I won't.
Ever wonder what bears really do in the woods? The Passport from Honda.
1-800-COMPARE. No matter what the other long-distance companies do, it just won't go away. It gives your business the facts and guaranteed competitive prices. Only from AT&T for the life of your business.
Let's go back and take a look at that fumble. If we run the play, we'll see that the ball's going to come out early. But it looks like Jeff Harding's number 50 right there on the ground is going to come up with it. Right
got
here.
his hands on it. Yeah, here. Derek Barnes wrestling with him, but it's Hardings who has the ball.
Hardings in white, number 50, has got it.
All right, Kerry Collins has his play. He moves the fullback over. Now comes back in motion and pitches it to Kadrona Carter on 3rd down and 2. And he does not get the first down. Jeremy Asher, inside linebacker number 44, a junior from Tigard, Oregon, makes the tackle. I tell you, this has turned into a pretty good paint swap. You know that? They're pumping each other along that line of scrimmage. Both sides. And Kenya now will come in. Oregon will come out of this. They should at least if they handle the ball with pretty good field position. Herman O'Berry is back waiting for the punt. Kenya's done a pretty good job, 42 and 36, and not much return on either one of them for the Nittany Lions. Good snap. Kick is out of there. Good kick. O'Berry. Penalty flag is thrown. They may not have given him enough room. Let's see about it. If so, that will be a penalty in favor of Oregon. Stephen Fitz was down there in a big hurry on the special teams to make the tackle.
39-yard punt. On the kicking team.
Interference on Penn State, 39-yard punt. ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 Rose Bowl brought to you by Honda, who invites you to test drive the new Odyssey, the Honda of minivans. And Bud Bowl 7. This year it's going to be a whole new ball game. So put the football just beyond the 45 for the Oregon Ducks. And first down. 7:49 to go in the first half. 7-7 tie. Dino Filio is the deep back behind Dwayne Jones. Filio on track. And bolts for about 9 yards before Chuck Vincentic, the free safety, brings him down. Chuck is a sophomore out of Akron, Ohio. He's had a lot of action today, hasn't he?
He has had a lot of action. Had a interception at the free safety position. Was injured a little earlier and back. Again, he's making his first start of the season.
So it's 2nd down and 2 after an 8-yard pickup. O'Neill's pass completed to Dwayne Jones out of the backfield, and the penalty flag is thrown, and I think the Ducks are going to get dinged for leaving too soon.
Dwayne Jones.
That's against Oregon. That's against Oregon. So you got 2 separate penalties. You take the one that's the most expensive, at least Penn State would. Wednesday night special on ABC. First 3 of TV's funniest ladies in 2 great hours of comedy. Roseanne, Grace, another Roseanne, and Ellen. Starting at 8, 7 Central. Then Sam Donaldson and Diane Sawyer moved to Wednesday with a new primetime live on its new night. Wednesday night on ABC. Well, I missed part of that narrative, but the ball comes back to the 48-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 8. They accepted the motion penalty. Second down and 8. Penn State jumps around with his defense. They're coming. O'Neill better hurry. Gets it out. And it is incomplete. The pass intended for Blake Spence, the tight end, who is on in relief of Josh Wilcox.
Blake Spence, incomplete.
And Spence never had a real chance at it because Marlon Forbes had him covered like a blanket.
Spence is only a redshirt freshman, only 8 catches on the year. Penn State doing a nice job that time, jumping around, giving Danny O'Neill a little bit different look.
7-7 tie. A lot of people surprised by that with 7 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd and 8. Willie Smith after O'Neal. He's got him. Willie Smith. Todd Atkins slipped underneath. Atkins actually was the first man to get him and got him around the legs, and Oregon will be punting.
There's Willie Smith, the outside linebacker. Going to come into Wiggins, the tackle. Penn State number 2 in the Big Ten in sacking opposing quarterbacks. There was nobody open downfield.
Mike Archie waiting for the punt. Eldon gets a dandy this time. Archie all the way back to the 9 and tackled at the 14. 54-yard punt, a 6-yard return, 6:09 to go in the first half.
So I'll meet you under the clock at Union Station.
Wonderful. Bye.
Oh, Allison, how will I know it's you?
I'll be holding a bag of Doritos.
The new bag?
Of course.
I can see it now. Together on the beach with the new bag of Doritos. April in Paris with the new bag of Doritos. Down the aisle with our new bag of Doritos. Me and... Allison?
Back off. He's mine.
Doritos tortilla chips. Flavors the way you look at life.
Do me a favor. Don't scream.
On Friday, January 13th, see a tale from the crypt so terrifying it can only be seen at the movies. Demon Night, rated R. Starts Friday the 13th.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's Enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you, take you back to our office, and you're on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Pac-10 member institutions are among the finest universities in the country. They're producing leaders in the workforce for today and the future. If you're an employer with full-time, part-time, or internship employment opportunities, the Pac-10 University Career Centers access thousands of qualified students and alumni. To list your job openings, call the Career Centers or advertise at your choice of universities through the Pac-10 Job Track one-call job listing service. Just call 800-999-8725.
6:09, the time remaining. You see the quarterback comparison so far in the game.
Penn State has been trying to get Kajana Carter going. They got him going big on the first play of the game, but I think they're going to throw a little bit more with Collins.
From the 14. Collins lets it go. He has a man on the sidelines, and the pass is completed to Freddie Scott. Scott is 6-footer, sophomore, Southfield, Michigan.
Freddie Scott.
He caught the ball in front of Herman O'Berry. That is Tournament House. Picture provided for the Goodyear Blimp Eagle. Tournament House is, of course, where the Tournament of Roses business is conducted. Jack French, the executive director, Bill Flynn, and the entire staff work there. Ain't a bad place to hang your hat if you got to work somewhere.
Enjoyed being over there the other day with the coaches.
Wonderful house. This is Kajana Carter. Ball comes out. Oregon diving. Got a shot at it. Ducks have it. Second fumble by Carter.
Chad Cota. The strong safety.
Troy Bailey, the man who covered it. Cota knocked it out.
Watch Cota. Coda's right here. Watch as he's going to come in force. The man is going to come right here, Carter, and he's just going to stick his helmet right in the where the ball is. Knocks it out. That's the second fumble of the day for Carter. This one, the Ducks come up with.
And it's first down at the Penn State 33-yard line. Ricky Whittle, the deep back. Danny O'Neal trying to cash it quickly. Got to hurry. Can't do it. Lions knock him down. Todd Atkins just kept coming and grinding and coming, and finally he got him.
Let's go back and take a look at this hit on the fumble. Chad Cota, that's a picture-perfect tackle. His head is up. The head is on the ball. That's a pretty good collision by two pretty good football players.
7-yard loss by Danny O'Neill on the tackle by Atkins, and Josh Wilcox has returned to the lineup from tight end. They need him. Things slowed down when he left the ball game. This is Whittle looking for a crack to run in, and the Lions are not going to give it to you at this point in time. Number 6, Aaron Collins, and Tony Pittman
tackled by Aaron Collins and Tony Pittman.
So Oregon having the ball first down at the 33 of Penn State, going the other way right now on good defense by the Nittany Lions. It'll be 3rd and 17. Wayne Jones, the fullback, the single back here. He's a blocker. Pass down the middle is good, but it's short of a first down. The pass is caught by Pat Johnson, who is the burner. He's the fastest man in the stadium. As a 17-year-old, ran a 10.3 900 and a 20.7 200 meters.
Gain of 13 yards.
But that pass is good for 13 yards. It is short of the first down. It is 4th down for Oregon. So that first play was a big play by Todd Atkins defensively. Matt Belden, who missed from 23 yards, will now try from 44 or 45, depending on where they mark it. 3:52 remaining in the first half.
You are now free to operate all electronic devices.
What a hard-working bunch. And you're working harder than most. I've seen bigger screens on a calculator. Now, this is a nifty screen, but objects may shift during flight. And you're working too hard because, frankly, your hands are just designed wrong. Ooh, an IBM ThinkPad. See, now this is what it's like to fly first class.
How much longer can he last on that battery?
Hey, Larry, sometime today?
Larry Doty for the birdie.
Hooked it. Okay, I'll get him down.
The Copper Top. Tops them all. Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's Enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you, take you back to our office, and you're on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Your money. How do you feel about investing it? In this market, of course you're... The smart thing is to start small. $50 a month with a Janus no-load mutual fund. $50. That's not so scary, is it? Start to think big. Janus Funds.
Take a look at the previous play. Tight man coverage. O'Neill's going to get back and hit Johnson coming from the right side. The perfect throw to a man with a lot of speed. He just didn't catch the ball and keep running. Yeah, he just fell down.
Matt Belden now, and we've decided it's a 44-yard try. Actually, 44 and a half, if you want to be precise about it. His longest is 47. And it's on its way, and it is no good. He's missed 2. He missed from 23, and now he's missed from 44, and he missed them both wide right. Now, you folks in Tallahassee know about that.
The true freshman who has handled both the punting and the place kicking all year long.
First and 10, Penn State.
First play of the ball game, Penn State, 83 yards, touchdown. The next 23 plays, they gained 83 yards. Kerry Collins, Bobby Ingram, wide open. He ran Molden off. Molden was 10 yards down the field, turning around looking for him, and he catches the ball. So good play by Ingram. Coming up tonight, the grand finale of our bowl tripleheader, Florida State and the Florida Gators. Rematch after their dramatic tie. USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific here on ABC Sports.
Boy, you just hope that game proves up to be as exciting as the previous one.
Keep thinking. I may not want to watch it if it's like that. That's a good pass by Kerry Collins. Strong arm, and again, he's going.
You've got to get the ball to your wide receivers. Both Ingram and Scott both averaged 20 yards per reception this year, and both totaled over 1,000 yards. In fact, Scott was a little under 1,000. But those are the big play guys for Penn State. You've got so many choices. You've got Carter in the backfield. You've got Brady at tight end. You've got two outstanding wide receivers, but you cannot make mistakes. You can't put the ball on the ground.
3:20 to go in the first half. Scott's in motion. Carter over the left side, going deep as a receiver. The pass thrown toward him, and it is incomplete. Defending is Kenny Wheaton for Oregon. And Carter had no chance at catching that ball.
Wheaton is the nickelback, the fifth back that Oregon uses in their defensive schemes. He is a reserve, but made the all-conference team, the second team, as a reserve redshirt freshman for Nick Aliotti.
Second down and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Whitman. He does not get to the line of scrimmage as Jeremy Asher, number 44, just jumbled him. So the loss is back down to the 45-yard line. That's your halftime
Loss
schedule.
of 2 yards.
Both bands. You'll see both bands. Third down conversions for Penn State today. 2 out of 6. Third and 12. Collins going deep. He's got a man. It's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Joe Juravicius. A redshirt freshman, 6'5", big target, makes a great catch.
Juravicius, 83, the top of your screen, is like the fourth choice on this route. He came into the game with 1 catch all year. He is the punter. He has seen action punting a lot more than he has wide receiving, and that is a big catch for that young man.
First and goal for the Nittany Lions at the Oregon 1. They got the matchup they wanted. Juravicius delivered it to the 1.
They've been outstanding inside the 20.
Fullback John Whitman, and he does not get over the top. It'll be second down and goal.
This graphic here, Keith, they've been inside 60 times, and they've scored 56 of the 60, and 47 consecutive times they've been inside the opponent's 20, they have scored. And that is one of the reasons right there. Ran again.
Fullback.
That's the other reason.
Brian Milne. He slams it in there. And the Nittany Lions have grown to the lead 13-7. And the play, the great pass by Collins, and the catch by Juravicius sets it up.
Milne, number 22, is 6'3" and 253 pounds. He's a good receiver and a
both
tough,
a load, aren't they?
Tough kid.
Oh, boy, they're tough. Conway for the point. Knuckleball, but he got it through.
Field goal kickers are having their problem.
Oh, are they ever? 1:26 remaining in the first half as Penn State goes to the lead 14-7. Goodyear Blimp Eagle providing the pictures on the air. 1995 marking the 70th year of operations for Goodyear Blimpers.
NCAA discus champion, and his goal is to qualify for the Olympics in Atlanta in 1996. Great story. He had Hodgkin's disease in high school, overcame that. A couple of surgeries, a lot of chemotherapy, 6 months of hell. Good story.
Fielded, and the return will be well short of the 20-yard line. Ricky Whittle coming back to about the 18. And before he leaves, and I know he's going to have to leave town shortly, but I just wanted to say hi and thank him for coming out and joining us, the Grand Marshal of the Tournament of Roses, Chichi Rodriguez.
Keith, it's nice being with you, and this is the first football game that I've ever watched in my life, and I tell you, I used to think that baseball was my favorite sport. Football has become #1 sport in my heart. This is the greatest sport that I have ever seen.
This is a particularly good setting, though, to watch a game, Chichi. This is pretty fancy.
It's a great setting, but it's amazing. These young guys are doing a wonderful job, and I think that football is great for the young people, and they are the future of America, so we have to take care of the young people.
Josh Wilcox just made that catch and picked up a first down for the Oregon. Have you had a good time? Have you had a good time?
I loved it. I think that this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life, besides meeting my wife.
Well, bless your heart. You know, millions of people around this world love you, and what you told the kids yesterday, if Chichi can do it, so can you. So keep on doing it, will you?
Well, God bless you, kids, and bless everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chichi Rodriguez, the Grand Marshal of the
good to
Tournament of Roses Parade. Had a good time. We're delighted always to see it. Here's Danny O'Neill running out, throwing, good. McLemore, Kristen McLemore with a catch for first down, and it stops the clock at 1:04 to play in the first half.
The offensive line is allowing O'Neill some time to move around back there, which allows McLemore some time to get away from Yaboa Cody. McLemore missed 5 games this year with injuries, but he is their best offensive player.
Yeah, he's playing with a sore wheel right now.
Yeah, but he is their best player.
Ball at the 47-yard line. 14-7. Penn State holding the lead. Danny O'Neill gets it off down the middle. Pass is caught by Johnson. Pat Johnson, the speedster. He has another first down, and that stops your clock at 55 seconds to play in the first half. Penn State with a big pass play. Kerry Collins to Joe Juravicius, setting up their go-ahead touchdown in the closing seconds or minutes of the first half.
You got to be impressed with O'Neill bringing him back.
Pass all the way across the field, caught by Ricketts. Eludes 2 tacklers, 3 tacklers, and finally taken down after another first down at the 24-yard line. These little guys, they'd love to run in the middle of the field.
I don't know why, because that's where all those big, fat, slow guys are. I mean, they can't run out to the sidelines. They're just hanging around inside. Ricketts, number 3.
They're going to play right now. Here they go.
A little short out.
O'Neill on a rollout. Got to hurry and gets out of bounds. He picked up maybe a yard. He just scampered out of bounds to stop the clock in 30 seconds. There was nobody on that side of the field for O'Neill to throw the ball to.
I'm impressed, Keith, with O'Neill. We had a nice chat with him the other day, and we were impressed with him and how bright-eyed and how intelligent he was, and he'd look you straight in the eye. But the way he's playing, I think the key is he's a 4-year starter, and as I said, he's making his 41st start. And when you've played that many games and that many snaps, nothing really phases you.
Oregon has 1 timeout remaining. O'Neill is now 20 out of 25 for 260 yards. He's looking for McLemore. He goes underneath McLemore to Josh Wilcox for a first down at the 11-yard line. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. And as you pick up a first down in the last 2 minutes of the half, they stop the clock to move the chain. And the chain pullers are pretty slow. I don't know, does that play count? I mean, the chains were not in place. The officials didn't pay any attention to it.
Well, the umpire marked the ball ready for play and got away from it, so.
Aren't you supposed to have the marker down?
They were in a hurry.
Second down and 10 with 20 seconds remaining in the first half at the 11 of Penn State. That's McLemore. He's knocked down at the 10-yard line. Now they may have to spend the timeout.
Use that timeout.
Brian Gilheiser on the tackle.
So Danny O'Neill with a timeout to talk here, and he told us earlier about where his season took the big turn for it. It came when he was at home watching his team play on the road.
Watching the SC game on TV in Eugene, watching my team go down to my, my home area and play SC in the Coliseum, and watching them win and beat SC, pretty soundly with a great victory, and really put my attitude and the way I approach this year differently, completely changed it. I thought for some reason, and I don't know where I got this, that I had to put up numbers or that I had to drive the team down and make touchdown passes. And when I saw that SC game, I said, this is a great football team with or without me, and this is a great offense with or without me. And when I got healthy and was able to return to this to the team, I just wanted to be a part of what's going on here.
Well, he's playing like it. Now they've got one shot, maybe. They can have time. If they don't connect in the end zone, then they'll be able to get a field goal try.
Well, first of all, you can't run the ball.
No, you got to throw it in the end zone.
Secondly, you can't take a sack. Quarterbacks don't get sacked. Now, you got to get ready. You got to throw it in the end zone complete or throw it incomplete.
And he didn't throw it in the end zone.
And he didn't get out of bounds.
And they're not going to score. Time's going to run out on them. They did not get out of bounds. You cannot. You got to throw the ball into the end zone. So they don't do the two things they had to do. And the half is over. And at halftime, Penn State 14, Oregon 7, and Dameron Ricketts was wide open. Just didn't see it. But it has been a most entertaining first half of play, and the second half may be just as good. Right now, let's go to our studios and join John Saunders.
Thanks, Keith, and we'll get back to you in just a moment, and we'll all
Archer is back there with him. This is a very big defensive series right here for Oregon. Eldon, who missed 2 field goals in the first half, knocked it back to the 1-yard line. And Archie comes back to the 20-21. Here is Lynn Swan.
Keith, I talked with Joe Paterno at halftime, and he said this defense of Oregon's is outstanding. He said the one thing they're doing differently is throwing a different blitz package at the offense he wasn't looking for. And I asked him, after the big play by Kajana Carter, did that affect the offense? He said, there could be something to that. Sometimes when you score too easily, you get spoiled. Keith?
False security. All right, here come the Nittany Lions up to the 21-yard line, first down with Carter and Milne. The backs behind Kerry Collins. And Kerry on first down comes out throwing to the fullback. The ball is caught at about the 25. Milne, a 253-pound junior from Waterford, Pennsylvania. Both these fullbacks are juniors.
Here's a look at the numbers in the first half. Look at Penn State. Rushing yards, 123. Passing, about the same. They're balanced. For Oregon, 278 yards passing, only 16 rushing. Each has had a turnover, time of possession, a little bit in the favor of Oregon.
John Whitman checks into the backfield now for the Lions. Second down and about 7. Collins again throwing to the sideline.
Good throw.
Good throw, and the man under it is Freddie Scott, who probably, they're not going to call it possession. He didn't have it when he went out of bounds. And there's a penalty flag waiting over here. But I think Scott will see the ball more in the second half than he did in the first.
Here's a look at Penn State in the first half. They scored on their first possession, and they scored on their last possession. A thing to note there, they did not have very good field position. The best they had was on their own 28-yard line. The leaders, Collins was 9 of 13 and 115. Carter, not much after that big first run, and Ingram led the receivers with 4 for 48 yards.
So it's third down and a long 6 for Penn State.
Here they come.
John Carter on a pitch, pops out of there, but they finally bring him down. They almost had him again. If you don't wrap Carter, you're not going to take him down. Jeff Sherman finally got him.
Sherman doesn't make that tackle. He's the free safety. Everybody else had blitzed up through the holes, and he was the last line of defense.
Yep. Otherwise, Kajana's got another big number.
Darrell Kenya punting for Penn State.
All right, Herman O'Berry is waiting for Darrell Kenya's punt. Big series right there for the Oregon defense, I think. One fellow may be lined up in the neutral zone. Kick is out of there. Good. Oh, that is a very good kick. Berry retreats all the way to the 22-yard line. There's a penalty flag down, and O'Berry is taken down by Stephen Pitts. And that's the second time that Pitts has been very prominent in kick coverage.
Good kick and good coverage.
And I think we've got a penalty coming here against the Oregon Ducks. That was a 50-yard punt and a loss of a yard on the return.
50 yards on the punt.
Might very well have been a push in the back. But they're not indicating that, so we'll finally get a call here after they've sorted it out from their meeting.
Illegal block in the back on the receiving team.
Yep.
First finish kick foul. We'll go from the end of the kick. 10 yards.
You can see the look of Rich Brooks. That's quite definitive.
Here's a look at the possessions for Oregon. They had it 8 times. They scored on their second possession and should have scored on their second last. They had it on the Penn State 33 and missed the field goal. Here are the leaders. O'Neal with a great first half, 278 yards. Whittle leads the rushers, and Wilcox and McLemore lead the receivers.
They're just outside the 10-yard line for the first down after the penalty. And they give it to Whittle, and Whittle is taken down up around the 12. Todd Atkins, number 58 for Penn State, has been a very solid defensive performer for the Lions so far today.
He's got a couple of sacks under his belt already.
But he's been there. He's been there.
No, you're exactly
all the way
right.
around, yeah. Give him a yard on the carry. O'Neal flips it out to Whittle. Whittle looking for some help on the corner. Didn't get it. Picked up a couple of yards. And again, Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, you know Rich Brooks was very upset at the end of the first half when he didn't get a chance to kick the field goal. McLemore didn't get out of bounds. When I talked to him, he said, I'm not going to change anything we're doing on offense or defense. The kids are playing hard. They're playing strong. We just have to take advantage of our opportunities, and we didn't do that in the first half. And he says physically, he believes this young man can play with Penn State. Penn State's obviously bigger, but Oregon is going to be in a fight, and he believes they can win it.
They're quicker. Oregon's quicker.
And they've got heart.
Third down and 6. They're 1 out of 7 on third down conversions. O'Neal's got a problem. Now you need to throw it, but he can't do it. He can't pull that trigger in those circumstances.
The reason he can't pull the trigger, there's nobody open, Keith.
Nobody downfield.
Nobody open.
Normally when your quarterback scrambles, you got to go with him, and nobody went with him. Didn't have any choice but to run out of bounds. So Penn State ought to come out of this with pretty good field position. First they get a 50-yard punt from Kenya. Oregon loses a yard on the return. Belden needs one of those howitzers he hit to close the first half. Mike Archie standing back at about his own 40. Belden's punt, not bad. And he's got Archie in a fair catch back at the 39. That's a very good point. Punt by the freshman from Arizona.
A lot of champagne glasses have been used to prove how smooth a car can be at high speed.
coast is in order for a truck that can do the same. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed. At America's truck stop, the new Dodge.
Business is the engine of society. Without it, there would be no jobs, no products, no competition, no advancements. Business is the engine of society. See how far it takes you. See how far it takes us all. This is the software that moves you forward.
I know it's a new school, honey, but you'll make lots of friends.
Attention, class. Meet our new student, Timothy Hayes. Lunch break, class.
His name is Timmy. It's sort of a surprise.
Hi, Timmy Hayes?
Yes?
Your pizzas are here.
Pizza Hut announces 2 large one-topping pan pizzas for just $13.
Anyone want some pizza?
It's a class act.
Hi.
You love the stuff we made on Pizza Hut.
Golf's big winners in 1994 tee it up in the first battle of the new year. Don't miss the final round of the Mercedes Championship Sunday on ABC Sports.
Penn State. This is Penn State's best starting position for a possession of the ball game. That's their 40. First down. Freddie Scott, number 31. He has not seen the ball much today. He's in motion. Terry Collins looking for him. There it is. And it's a first down. Right about the 50-yard line. How'd you know that?
Completed to
How do you think
Scott.
he's due? He's a terrific pass receiver. And they haven't used him much. And he's been open a lot.
Well, they've been open. Both wide receivers have been open because, again, of the 7- and 8-man front that they want to not only blitz, but also stop the run of Kajana Carter.
First and 10.
Whatever it is they're doing can't be too bad, is it?
That's right.
14-7 ball game.
Well, they're in the ball game.
Mike Archie replacing Carter in the backfield. Goes in motion. Here's Terry Collins. You drop it off to Archie, looking for a screen. Got loose on the sideline. And Jeff Sherman, the free safety, knocks him out.
Collins passing to Mike Archie.
They're airing it out
Jeff
here to
Sherman
start
on the tackle.
the second half of play.
Randy Gantner, the offensive coordinator, was one of his concerns prior to the game was the blitz package of Oregon and how would they do it and would he be able to pick it up? Well, he's adjusted a little bit, as Lynn said. He talked to Paterno. They're blitzing a little bit differently. They've had time to adjust to it.
Ball is at the 33, first down. For the Lions.
But they're faking it now.
Give it to Archie. And they're still keyed to the run. You got Kenny Wheaton, number 20 now. He's the right cornerback or the nickel back, and he's at the bottom of the stack at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. They put Wheaton in, which is a 5th defensive back, and take out one of their linebackers. So it's a 4 defensive linemen, 2 and 5 linebackers. And he's just as good a tackler as he is coverage guy.
Second down and 10. Collins hit as he throws. The pass is incomplete. Pass intended for the tight end Kyle Brady. And Kenny Wheaton jumped Brady pretty well that time, and Kerry Collins got flat.
Incomplete. Knocked away by
Tomorrow night, ABC, the new year, bringing new episodes of all your Tuesday favorites, Full House, Me and the Boys, Home Improvement, Grace Under Fire, and NYPD Blue. So it's a happy new year tomorrow night here on ABC. Third down and 10. I don't know where they got 11. They got 11 on the scoreboard, but I don't know why. Looking for it again, throws a bullet, and he drills it to Freddie Scott. And he's short of the first down.
Gain of 9 yards.
He caught the ball just over the 25, and he had to go to the 23. So Brett Conway trots onto the field, and he will try a field goal.
Brent Conway attempting the field goal.
They will spot the ball right about the 32. Plenty of leg. Got it. Oh, no, he missed it. Pulled it out. And the Lions come away empty.
That's the 4th missed field goal in this game today. 2 on either side.
Tried to pull it back, wouldn't come back. That's the 3rd one. It's been wide right, too. So maybe they are slipping a little bit on the grass. Timeout.
You're looking at millions of dollars of lost savings. Savings you never received because your business used AT&T. Which is why when it comes to savings, hundreds of thousands of businesses are demanding proof. MCI will analyze your AT&T bill and give you proof positive, written proof of how much your business can save by switching to MCI. So call MCI and see how much of this is yours.
Its double wishbone suspension elevates your feel of the road. Its multi-valve engine and speed-sensitive steering elevate your sense of control. While its looks, well, they will elevate your mood. Introducing the all-new Dodge Avenger. It's more than just a car. It's an elevator.
Red Dog here. Look at him. Making fools of themselves. And for what? A pat on the head and a dog biscuit?
What do you think of that?
You got a mind of your own.
Oh.
Know what I'm saying? Do what's right for you. Hey, buddy, nothing personal.
Red Dog beer. Bold yet smooth, easy to drink.
But I don't jump through hoops for nobody.
Is Metavoy being hounded by a gypsy curse?
I am not a person who responds to threats. And why would my gums all of a sudden start bleeding?
An all-new Blue. Tuesday, viewer discretion advised.
Tom Osborne's cousin lives up there. That's right up behind the Rose Bowl. Well, it's never happened that a team in first place won its postseason game was voted out of first place. Never happened. First down for the Oregon Ducks. The ball at the 25-yard line. Danny O'Neal back, has time. Now they flush him. And he's going to pick up some. Got about 7 yards on the play. Don't be running around too much and letting those big old boys like Gelsheiser and Jeff Perry jump on you. They'll flatten your tire.
Well, Neal didn't realize that they had gone from a 4-man line to a 3, dropped 5 men deep in the short zones and 3 deep behind them. So I think Jerry Sandusky, just defensive coordinator, moving his defenses around, goes to another 3-man line, and both outside linebackers split.
Dino Filio in the backfield now, and they run him up close to the 35. Depends on the spot whether or not he's got his first down.
Stewart making the tackle.
And he does not. Going to go across the 30.
Gain of
3rd and a half a yard. 8 minutes and 49 seconds of the clock running. 14-7, Penn State leading the Oregon Ducks. O'Neal trying for the first down. His second effort may have gotten it, but I don't think so. I don't think he got it. Penn State just absolutely collapsed the offensive front, and it's going to be 4th down.
Rod Atkins making the tackle.
Look at the line of scrimmage. The center gets stuffed. That's Greg. But Zeke, number 51, was right there. So it's a good defensive line charge by the Lions.
And it may be Gelsheiser that's down. Looks like 16 down. So there's the boss man of the defense right there, flat of his back, as they work on his leg. Tonight in the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl game, rematch, Florida State and Florida. Gators had the Seminoles locked in the teepee, and they got loose in the regular season game. And that could just be a war. I mean, it'll just be a war. You know it will. And it's coming after the Rose Bowl.
Danny Cannell, I think, maybe have come of age in that ball game in the second half against Florida. Gelsheiser is walking off. Looks like it's an ankle problem or something. He'll be missed. He was the #2 tackler in all of the Big Ten this year.
All right, they'll punt it on 4th and a half a yard, or a full yard now. That's a good snap. Good pressure, though. The kick's out of there. Mike Archie has to back up and let it bounce. And it gets an Oregon roll. It keeps on trickling and will finally expire at about the 21-yard line. Turns out to be a 45-yard punt. And we've got 7 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Salih Malapai, the Samoan, and on his stomach. Look at that. Now, Keith, I'm told, I don't know, but Turian tells me that you may have Sherman Oaks across your front.
Not a chance. Not unless I fix my house. 21-yard line for Penn State with Carter and Milne in the backfield. And Collins throwing on first down. Down the middle. Pass complete. Kyle Brady tied in. Let me tell you something about Brady now. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. Your safeties are the people who have to deal with him. And they are Chad Cota, 6'1" and 190-91. He's more than 181. Jeff Sherman at about 180. So they're giving away height, 5 inches. They're giving away about 70 pounds.
This kid is the best ever tight end that has played at Penn State. They had a good receiving tight end in Ted Qualick a few years back. But as far as blocking and receiving the whole package, Kyle Brady is the best that Joe Paterno has had. In fact, he said that Kerry Collins has played as well as any quarterback that he has had there, and that Kajana Carter has run as well as all of his great backs, Kurt Warner and the other ones included. And you know, that's pretty strong when you've got 3 guys on your offense, best position players ever.
That's Freddie Scott in motion. He leaves Ingram on the near side. There's the wide man. Hand it to the up man, the fullback, number 22, Brian Milne. Boy, I tell you, these 2 fullbacks are they are big, strong people.
This offense is averaging 48 points a game. They are the #1 scoring offense in the country and the #1 offense in the country as far as total yards are concerned.
Gain of 3 yards.
At the 35-yard line, second down and 7 on the empty line. They're leading 14-7. Oregon again lines them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here they come.
Pass is away, and the pass is incomplete. Alex Molden covering Freddie Scott. That's a pretty good matchup there. There's no inhibitions about Molden and O'Berry. They'll take you on man and run all over the field with you.
Well, here's what you're getting. The linebacker is blitzing. You're going to have 6 guys coming. When you do that, everybody in the secondary is matched up. You see Sherman at the top of your screen is matched up. He throws the other way. You just have to get open. And Scott didn't get open.
Somebody had a hold of him as he let the ball go, too. On third down, Kerry Collins has time to pump it, then takes the lick, completes the pass. First down. Thrown to Juravicius. It was Juravicius who made the catch on the big play that set up the go-ahead touchdown. Now he comes up with another big play.
And Juravicius, as you mentioned, probably has gotten less playing time than all of the other wide receivers.
He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman from Charleston, Ohio.
And I think one of the reasons he's able to get open is because of his size, Keith.
Yep.
6'5" and 220, as you mentioned. He can just, if he just positions himself inside the corner, he's open.
It's become Kerry Collins' ball game now, hasn't it? Yep. Back to throw again on first down to the sideline. The pass is complete to Mike Archie. And Archie has what appears to be another first down or very close to it.
Mike Archie.
It'll be on the Oregon side of the field near the 46-yard line.
And as you mentioned, it's Collins' game now, and it really plays in to the strength of the Ducks because their strength is their secondary. They've stopped Carter, Kajana Carter. Other than that first run of the game, their strength is in their secondary. They're forcing Collins to throw the ball against that secondary.
But somebody's got to get in the quarterback's face. The best secondary in the world isn't going to do much if you give that guy like that time to stand around and survey.
That's why the blitzing, the 5 and 6 men come to put pressure because the defensive line is not the strength of this defensive team.
The size of Kerry Collins impressive, though. In the Michigan game earlier this year when he shook big old Steve Morrison off his back and threw a rope for a pass completion, he sold me right there.
Yeah.
He's about 235 or so pounds. He stands 6'5".
He's only been sacked 5 times this year.
That's testimony to those blue-collar guys in front of him. Archie and Whitman in the backfield. Second down and very short. Collins dancing around and coming after him, but he gets his pass away. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Reggie Jordan. And Jordan is knocked out of bounds down at the 17-yard line. John Whitman saved the touchdown.
That's another blitz. There's six men putting pressure. Brady, number 81, is being covered by Jordan, 47, a linebacker. He's also got help behind him from Coda.
Bad news for Oregon in the aftermath of this play. Rich Rue, number 48, the inside linebacker, is hurt. So we've got a timeout for Rich Rue right now at 5:35 to go in the third quarter.
We were looking for the most significant vehicle in the market. We weighed technological advancement, value, and performance. Introducing Chrysler Cirrus, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Look, I appreciate the fact that fast food is fairly inexpensive.
Only 99 cents.
I know it's convenient and all that, but if I'm going to give you 99 of my cents, you're going to have to give me more than just some burger. I mean, is it a Whopper? Is it flame broil or is it fried? Can I get it how I want it? Or am I going to be scraping gobs of secret sauce off the bun? I mean, I can get a roll of duct tape for 99 cents. Doesn't mean I want to make it my lunch.
The 99-cent Whopper, now at Burger King.
Billions of years ago, the only place to get a nice gift was the airport. A good meal, the airport. Rent a wheel, the airport. That's why Thrifty Car Rental opened in your neighborhood. Now we're making it easier than ever before to rent really great wheels at very neighborly rates. And if you're at the airport, we're in that neighborhood too. Your neighborhood Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 Rose Bowl, brought to you by Pizza Hut. You'll love the stuff we're made of. And the Chrysler Corporation and its divisions judge us by our performance. Oregon's ball, first down, Penn State 17-yard line. After Reggie Jordan's first interception, Rich Rule walked off the field. Gelheiser's is back for Penn State, having had an ankle retaped. And it's Whittle and Jones lined up behind Danny O'Neill. They've not been in the air yet in this half. By Jones, fullback out of Lafayette, California, and Gelsheiser is right there. You could hear that one all the way in Pomona as they ran together.
Gelsheiser put on some other shoes to get some high tops on.
Well, they retaped his ankle, and they are high tops, yes.
No gain on the
He's had ankle trouble, I think.
Looks like he put some white tape over those high tops.
Yep. There was nothing on that play. Nothing. So it is second down and 10.
Oregon had 29 passes first half, none yet this half.
O'Neal's pass to the corner. Gotta be good.
I don't think he came down in bounds.
Tristan McLemore. He was carried out on the shoulders of a Penn State defender. The officials have signaled nothing.
Yeah, he signaled touchdown.
Where?
The one man down there, the one official signaled touchdown. But you got to get a foot in bounds. This is not the NFL rule where if you're pushed out. Let's take a look.
They carried him out,
I don't think he got a foot in. This is not the NFL where if you're carried out, the official judgment, if he doesn't get a foot in bounds on his own, he's out of bounds.
It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown, folks. Here's the kick. And he just barely got it through, so Belden's having a hard time with this place kicking stuff today, but we're tied at 14 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the third quarter.
It's from the other side of the field. McLemore, great leaping ability.
He's clearly out of bounds, but it's also clear that they're carrying him. So I still haven't seen anybody call touchdown.
I still can't see clearly.
This is the best shot.
Whether one of his feet get down. Let's see. Yeah, right there. And I don't know if I don't know if that official was looking. If that official was looking at the foot or not, but it was awfully close.
Whew. Well, that's pretty exciting stuff. 14-14. Only one man threw up his hands, and I couldn't find him over there in the corner. So Oregon has pulled even with the Nittany Lions at 14, and will kick off now. At the 7. That's fresh legs. Finally got him.
Those
at
fresh
the 21-yard line.
His fresh legs wore out, didn't they?
Yeah, but it makes a difference. Isaac Walker, a cornerback, finally ran him down at the Oregon 21. So the Ducks get themselves pinned in the middle of the field, and the Nittany Lions blow them out of the water.
Well, Collins makes a mistake. Oregon turns it into a touchdown, and Penn State comes right back and shows its grit on its special teams. The kickoff return team makes a big play, and Penn State has it on about the 21-yard line.
4:40 to play in the third quarter. 14-14 tie. This is Carter, and Kajana Carter is taken down by Kenny Wheaton at about the 17-yard line. So that's a pickup of 4 yards. Carter's been pretty quiet since that big opening run. 32 yards, a couple of fumbles. They have really been on his case. Second down, 6.
Here they come.
Carter again. He's gone.
Yeah.
Wide open left side. Bang. Penn State comes right back and regains the lead. But it was the kickoff return that did it. Oregon got pinned in the middle. And the Nittany Lions buried them. And from the 21, it was pretty easy.
Nick Alioti, the defensive coordinator, says we're going to gamble. Look at all these guys blitzing, and there's going to be a huge hole up inside. Offensive line does a nice job. As Conlon, number 53, comes across and gets a block. It may be one of the easiest touchdowns.
Took 1 minute and 1 second. Carter ever scored. And Conway is good on the point. So Nick now's got to regroup his troops at 3:53 to play in the third quarter.
Here's a look from behind the defense. Asher 44 on a blitz. Conlon 53 picks him up. Look at that size of that hole. What happens when you gamble, you live by the blitz, sometimes you're going to hit it at the right time. And what you want to do is create a crease in there. And there are no defensive backs or linebackers if they're all blitzing left to make a tackle.
The Goodyear Blimp Eagles giving you these aerial pictures. Glenn Hampton, the cameraman. Goodyear Blimps traveling over 100,000 miles each year, covering major events, not necessarily sports, a lot of different kinds of events. Great picture platform. When you see the blimp in town, you know something's going on.
Penn State was tied, and it didn't take them long. 2 plays, 21 yards. Didn't take them long to score.
2.14 is their average.
Average 2 minutes and 14 seconds. 78 scoring drives coming into the game, averaging 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
We're getting down into the point, too, where you start wondering about depth, manpower depth.
Well, that was certainly
a cool day. It's a cool day. So that
played a factor last night in Nebraska's win over Miami, didn't it? Fourth quarter.
Yep. Well, back in the end zone, no return by Whittle. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Ricky Whittle downs the ball in the end zone.
Well, they've shut down that little wide receiver screen move, that play they like. They haven't done anything with that lately. They've changed up the defense and got some confusion for Danny O'Neill to look at. Josh Wilcox has been shut down here in the third quarter. So the Ducks now need to look around and see if they can find another 2.
It's right. Penn State adjusted defensively. Look at Josh. He's healthy. Jerry Sandusky made some adjustments. Now Oregon has to react to those adjustments.
Bill, you're all on a screen. Yeah, he got some room. Oh, my goodness. He might have scored because he had McLemore going downfield, and McLemore could have picked off Jason Collins, and it would have been 6. But somebody just got the top of his foot.
Gain of 20 yards.
From the other side, Ricketts, number 3, is going to get a nice block inside on one of the linebackers. You're not going to see it, but
Gelsheiser.
Gelsheiser that got a piece of him?
Yep. He's a good one. First down for the Ducks now, up at the 40. O'Neill's over 300 yards. Look out, Willie Smith's coming. Pass down the middle. That'll be picked off. Bad pass. And Nittany Lions are cooking. It is Chuck Penzinik who made his first start in this ball game. This is his second interception. He runs it all the way back to the 13-yard line. What kind of a story do you think that is? Here is a kid that moved over to a position he had not played this year. He got his first start. His palms were like 2 rainstorms when he came to the ballpark today. And all of a sudden, he's having the game of his life.
Here's Penzinik, and they're trying to hit the square end. And the problem is, he's just going to throw the ball too high and right to Penzinik. It's a little play action. They're trying to get the safety to bite. Penzinik is staying deep. Deep middle, the ball is overthrown.
Yeah, that was Oregon's mistake. No question about it. It was a mistake by Danny. He just threw the ball.
Tried to force it.
Tried to force it. Too many white shirts. And here's Penn State knocking on the door.
Pass.
Back it comes to Collins. Collins is hit just as he catches the ball. And he will pick up a couple of yards as Herman O'Berry smelled that one coming. See, Mike Archie had a touchdown pass earlier in the season, you know, and he's been whooping that pretty good.
He's 2 for 2. And both of them were for touchdowns. So he's saying, oh, shucks. He says, Todd, Kerry College, you got to get in the end zone here. Come on. You're running my average.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Lions at the Oregon 11-yard line. Ducks defense needs to get its back up right here. Kajana Carter and Brian Milne in the backfield, and that's Scott in motion. And it's Carter with the ball. Oh, I tell you, he is quick in traffic. He has great belt, big, thick, long legs.
He's the best I've seen, Keith. We've seen a lot of him this year, but I mean, he's got a good offensive line, and he's got a tight end that can block, and he's got fullbacks that can block. Conlon gets rid of Asher, but this kid, he reminds me of Emmitt Smith. He is strong, and he is built low to the ground. I mean, Penn State has blockers everywhere. The tight end can block, the fullbacks can block, and tailback benefits from all of that.
It is first and goal for Penn State at the Oregon 3. 21-14, Nittany Lions have the lead as we head toward the end of the third quarter. Defense, Penn State defense is the difference in this game. Now, it was the offense early on. This is Carter, and he's touchdown. Comes up with the interception, the big return, and the offense just sticks it right into the end zone.
Watch here as the whole line is going to come off, and the play is just going to come around the left side. Nobody pulls. Tight end got his man. Whitman has a man. Just straight blocking.
Brett Conway for the extra point. Good. In case you're curious about how long it took Penn State to score after they got possession, well, the first one was 13 seconds. The second was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. The third one was 1 minute and 1 second, and this one was 1 minute and 16 seconds.
What's the rush?
That's probably what the defensive guys are saying.
Yeah, you're exactly
Wait a minute,
right.
take some time.
Brady, Whitman's 38. That's Whitman, number 38. He's the fullback. Offensive line, Johnson and Rivera. Hardings is the All-American. Conlon, Greeley, the center.
And they've been running that play and doing that. Successful teams have since before Canute Rockney, folks. Ain't nothing fancy there.
You're exactly right.
It's just button heads and big fast people beating little fast people.
Yeah.
Dino Filiaw, number 12, is back there with Ricky Whittle now, the deep people for the Oregon Ducks, as the Nittany Lion coaches continue to work. It's surprising how many people will blossom for you after a regular season and going into a postseason game. That's why it's so valuable for coaches to get into postseason games. They get those extra days of training.
Practice time.
Yep.
Especially for the freshmen and sophomores.
Long driving kick back inside the end zone and beyond, and it'll come back to the 20. That's where the Ducks will go to work. 2 minutes and 1 second. They've been very quiet here in the third quarter. Had that one play where they almost broke him down the sideline.
First and 10, Oregon.
We've got 693 yards total in this game. 347 by Penn State, 346 by the Oregon Ducks. 28-14, Nittany Lions. Let's see if the Ducks can do some responding. Danny O'Neill hands it off to Dwayne Jones, and Jones on a quick hitter over the left side. We'll have about 5, maybe 6 yards.
By Brian Geldheiser.
So much conversation.
Bill.
Some people call it hype, and I guess that's what it was. But it was a wearing experience for everybody involved as between the two undefeated teams, Nebraska, Tom Osborne, Penn State, Joe Paterno, I mean, these are two of the highest quality people in the game of college football. Class people. That ball is thrown right through the hands of Dameron Ricketts. And they're friends. So I asked Joe the other day in a quiet moment his feelings about Nebraska winning in the Orange Bowl against Miami. And here's what he said.
The press can say what they want, newspaper people, television, anybody can say what they want, but nobody can take away from the fact that we did what we set out to do, and that was to win all our football games, get to the Rose Bowl, and if we can, win the Rose Bowl. And, you know, my mom, when I was a kid growing up, when the kids used to call me, in the neighborhood we were in, they'd call me WAP and things like that, and I'd come home crying. My mom would used to say to me, nobody can make you feel inferior unless you let them. And nobody can take a national championship away from us if we win all our football games, because we're going to feel as if we're national champions.
And that's the way he feels. That's what he said all along. Now, Tom Osborne and his Nebraska Cornhuskers appear that they're going to get the vote. You heard what Tom said earlier today. He has an even keel about it. He doesn't have control of it. He's not involved in a game that'll decide it. He's got to wait for people to cast ballots. 32-yard line. And O'Neal back. Throws to Whittle. Whittle's in trouble with Willie Smith. Gets away from him, but steps out of bounds. Steps out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage. Well, I don't know. All my feelings, and I've made it as clear as I can make it. I think this would have been a great year to have had four teams, top four teams after the bowl games play 2 weeks. And you could have at least had a test run. Have some feeling about it.
Well, you got the coalition set up this year, and next year it's going to be the alliance. Where they're trying to get the top teams to play each other. The problem is that the Rose Bowl is not involved in the alliance. You know, Keith, I mean, I'm not against a playoff, but if you can convince me that it wouldn't hurt the bowl system as we know it today. This is a great bowl.
Yes, it is.
We've got
That's Whittle with the ball, and he's got an Oregon first down up on the 45-yard line.
And over 100,000 people here today. But you tell me this. If Penn State, the fans, or the Oregon fans, if Penn State was number 2 like they are, and there was going to be another game next week between the 2 undefeated teams, if Penn State came out of this in Nebraska, and you were back in Pennsylvania, and you couldn't afford 2 trips.
15-yard game, 1st and 10.
And the championship game was going to be wherever, in New Orleans or in Miami or wherever. And you couldn't afford 2 trips. All you could afford was 1 trip. Would this stadium be full, or would the one next week and not affect the bowl game?
That's a defensive play by the Penn State Nittany Lions' Terry Killens, who came pouring in on a bull rush and knocked the Oregon man down back at the 40-yard line. Well, I don't know. The only problem I got with it is I don't want to see it control of things get in the hands of bowl promoters. I think the college people have still got to keep control of it. And that's the first thing I look at. As we come down to the end of the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 16. They trail 28-14. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Danny O'Neal back. Has pretty good protection. His pass is away to Kristen McLemore. And McLemore gets a pretty good gain out of it before he is knocked out on the Penn State side of the field.
Well, if you like offense, you'll like these numbers, big numbers, everywhere you look, total number of plays. Interesting one right here for Oregon. 336 yards passing is the most against any opponent for Penn State this year. 2 turnovers, both of them have led to the opponent scoring 1 touchdown.
3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4. O'Neal's pass to McLemore in the middle of the field, and he's got a first down as he's inside the 30. Kristen McLemore from Huntington Beach, California.
One of the best routes in college football, pro football, is a slant, about three steps down, and he doesn't really break it off. He doesn't have to, because Penn State playing a 3-deep zone. The slants are there, and that was a good throw by O'Neal to McLemore.
8 catches, 80 yards for Chris. Same thing, except misses Ricketts. He missed Dameron Ricketts with it. Threw it a little quickly, maybe.
Pass intended for Ricketts.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. The ball is at the Penn State 28-yard line. hard football game.
You know, Rich Brooks has done a great job. The preseason polls, the people who were supposed to know had him picked last and next to last in the Pac-10 conference. They are the Cinderella team, unquestionably. They beat Southern Cal, they beat Arizona and Washington to get here.
O'Neal doesn't have anybody to throw to. Now throws it to the ground.
And then they all look around.
Yep. There was nobody over there. Nobody went with him. Yeah, there was. Your quarterback scrambling, one to his right. They got to go the same direction.
Yeah. Whittle was over there just enough to allow him to tool the ball into the ground.
What are they doing to Wilcox? We haven't heard anything from Josh the whole second half. One time. Caught the ball one time.
But he had 7 catches at half. Well, he caught 19 all year coming in.
Third down. O'Neal steps up. Throws. There he is. Tried to get it to Wilcox, and Marlon Forbes got a hand on it and knocked it away.
Pass intended for Josh Wilcox.
There's Wilcox. Now watch, as a linebacker. Yaboa Cody, 43. They're all backing up. Geltizer's backing up. There's Forbes. He's just playing the area. Now his man got in the area. He'll play him a little bit. Just knocked it away.
All right, here comes Belden with a man-sized field goal try.
Might be a fake here if you get one.
Let's see. He's going to mark it right about the 45. It's up. And he can't buy one. That thing stayed right, started right, stayed right.
Hit the
Been
bar,
that way all day. Hit the bar.
Hit the upright.
So he's 0 for 3 on field goals. And with 14:11 to play, it is 28-14 Penn State.
Gather up your ideas. Run with them. Where do you want to go today?
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open, where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me, and there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer.
How Ford reinvented the minivan in 3 words. First, we widened it, giving you the widest stance for secure handling. Next, we made it big on safety with standard dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. Then we added the most room of all leading minivans for all your cargo and up to 7 passengers. And by sweeping away the old ideas, Ford created Windstar, a minivan like no other. The future belongs to the new Windstar.
Wednesday, take a peek at an all-new Roseanne.
I can't stop looking.
They're completely naked all the time. Sometimes he wears a hat.
An all-new Roseanne Wednesday on ABC.
There's a look at the field goal. Good snap, good hold. Belden gets it up. It's just going to hit the upright.
3 wide rights.
Here's Rich Brooks. They may not be the biggest or the strongest or the fastest, but I think that right there shows you why Rich Brooks has been a successful coach for a long time. Cares about his kids, and he'll be back.
Harry Collins wanted to let it go. Now he does. He's got Bobby Ingram back there, and it is incomplete. And he was in a full-scale duel with Jeff Sherman, the free safety.
Collins pass intended for Bobby Ingram, incomplete.
I went up there.
Jeff Sherman on the play.
Spent a day with him, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I can say, over the years, all the games that I've been involved in the Joe Paterno's football team, I have never failed to enjoy being around his team.
Yeah. It's been such a delightful week. I'll never get the image of those two dancing. Joe with Sue at the director's dinner the other night, and Rich with his wife Karen, and they were the only two on the dance floor. And then Joe went over and switched, traded wives, and they danced for a while, and everybody there applauded.
Well, it's supposed to be a festival. That's why the Rose, or the ball games, the bowl games are perhaps important in the sense that they are supposed to be festival. But we insist on heaping all manners of hype and pressure on top of the kids, and it's pretty hard sometimes to have a festival when the media insists on loading them up. 3rd down and 7. That's a good play by Molden on Bobby Ingram. I'll tell you what, those two corners, O'Berry and Molden, and Wheaton, when he's in the ball game, have done a job on the wide receivers at Penn State.
Single coverage. Collins went to the right man. Molden, the defensive back, did his job. He had him covered.
Darrell Kenny is on the field, 42, 36, 39, and 50. Now here's Pat Johnson, the speed burner for Oregon, back for the first time today as a kick returner. I think this is part of his future, too, because he has such speed. Once he learns to play the game, look out. That one slid off the foot. Bounced right back to where Pat Johnson was, but there are too many white shirts around it. And it'll roll dead at the Oregon 27. 42-yard punt.
Introducing Ford Contour. Gold, a world car for the 21st century. Result, world-class technology in 2 all-new engines, including a 24-valve V6 that runs 100,000 miles between recommended tune-ups. Outstanding safety features, from dual airbags to a steel safety shell, even a filtration system that removes virtually all dust and pollen from the air. The totally new Ford Contour, well equipped for just $14,655.
A week of scout camp. How hard could it be? Yeah.
I'm your new troop leader. We're going to chop wood and dig a ditch from here to there. Any questions?
Bet you can't eat just one.
Kid, I once went an entire week without breathing.
New Wavy Lay's Hidden Valley Ranch flavor. Bet you can't eat just one.
Keeper!
Hidden Valley's a special ranch. Wavy Lay's are special potato chips.
Is that Johnson's team behind us?
Exactly. Are they members of Hertz number 1 Club Gold?
Exactly.
Are we members of Hertz number 1?
Not exactly.
So thanks to Hertz, they're going to get to the meeting on time. And we'll be late? So exactly what will I tell the boss?
In Rent-A-Car, there's Hertz, and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
And then a dog in the cargo hold 8-hour presentation.
Is he buying it?
Not exactly.
The USF&G Sugar Bowl is next on ABC. Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier met at the 40-yard line just moments ago. We'll be underway. It's a rematch, Florida and Florida State. Right now, back we go to Keith Jackson and Bob Greasy.
All right, Brett, you guys are in for some fun down there in Newlands tonight, I think. 28-14 here, Penn State. Oregon with the ball now at their own 27-yard line. Dino Filio, the single back for the Ducks. Daddy O'Neill. Not much on the play as Tony Pittman stepped right up on Filio in a hurry. The Big Ten, of course, trying to win their 3rd in a row against the Pac-10 if the Nittany Lions close the door on this one. I know some of you perhaps wondering about the future of Kajana Carter. Nobody knows what it is, not even Kajana perhaps at this point in time. O'Neill steps away from the pressure, turns it upfield, and runs for very close to the first down. Depends on where they give him the mark. May not have given him the first down.
O'Neill on the run.
Joe Paterno telling us
Christmas Eve
days ago that after the season he intends to sit down with Kajana and his mother and hash it over a little bit.
Also,
he was redshirted his first. This is his fourth year in school.
Interesting as they bring the change on that Joe Paterno has had unbeaten teams in 1968 that finished second, 1969 that finished second in the national polls I'm talking about. It is the first down by just a smidgen. 1973 an unbeaten team finished fifth. 1986 they finally got one. But here he is again, going to probably finish the season undefeated and finish second.
Well, but he also won a national championship when he lost a game one year.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, in '82.
That's Kristen McLemore with the ball. And a pickup of close to 7-8 yards.
The amazing thing about Joe, in his 29 years, and this is his 29th season as head coach at Penn State, he has had 7 undefeated regular seasons where he's gone through the regular season.
Well, that 78 team was a great team. Chuck Ucina, Mike Coleman, Matt Stewart, all those guys, you know, lost to Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. One of the great college football games of all time. Second down and 4, short 4. There's your first down. It's Phil-Yaw. And Dino moves it to the Penn State side of the field, the 48-yard line. O'Neal is now over 400 yards in total offense.
There's a look from up above, the Goodyear blimp.
First and 10.
Phil-Yaw number 12 just going to slide out. O'Neal does a nice job of setting this up. And then the speed burner.
Ball loose. He came away, came off the snap, didn't stay down under it, and the ball got loose. And O'Neal covers it. Danny is saying, get that building off of me.
Ball recovered by Danny O'Neal.
Also on that play of about 4 yards. At least a good 3. Second down and 13. 12-10 to play in the game. 28-14. The ball is slapped down. Intended for Kristen McLemore. And Willie Smith dropping off. The outside linebacker knocked it down. So it'll bring up 3rd and 13. Saturday, January 14, season premiere of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Begins with the AC Delco Classic. Then the national champion Razorbacks of Arkansas meet Auburn. Duke plays Virginia. You'll have other regional games as Pizza Hut College basketball begins January 14 here on ABC Sports. 3rd down, big play here for the Ducks. Yaboa Cody got him. What a good play by Phil Yaboa Cody from Montreal.
He's going to beat the back from the left side. Watch as Phil-Yaw, number 12, steps out to block. The first problem is he didn't step close enough to the line of scrimmage. Secondly, he tried to cut him, and Yaboa Cody, great athletic ability, just jumps over him and takes him down with one hand.
And they'll punt. Belden. Archie waiting. Didn't get it to turn, but it takes a good bounce. And rolls net at about the 13-yard line, a 47-yard punt. State College, Pennsylvania, I'll have you know. Now, everybody who wanted to come west couldn't. So they've had a week of festival activity at home. The Rose Bowl theme shown in the ice sculpture along South Allen Street. Their New Year's Eve midnight fireworks were rained out, but by that time it didn't matter a lot. Called first night at State College, Pennsylvania. First down for the Nittany Lions, and this is Kajana Carter. And they're able to keep him from turning the corner as Alex Molden, the cornerback, came up and pushed him out of bounds.
Well, we've been mentioning the blocking up front. Brady, number 81, watch him as he blocks down on the defensive end. That's Bailey, number 56, doing it by himself, and the follow-through. stays with him and stays with him. That is very impressive. And that young man will be very popular when it's time to draft tight ends in the upcoming NFL draft. He will be a highly drafted kid, I guarantee you.
Oh, look at this. They swarmed him. Paul Jensen was the first man to get there. And Carter not only didn't get a second step that time, he really didn't get his first one.
Well, the last time you saw what's good when the offense dominates. Now watch as the linebackers mix up the blocking scheme for the offensive line.
4 yards.
Linebackers coming in different gaps at different times. 7 and 8 people coming through the line of scrimmage.
Too high and behind Bobby Ingram. You know, I tell you what, that big old Bucky Greeley, number 60, the center for Penn State, he's a chunk in the middle of that line, you know, and you don't knock him out of there much.
You know, he's underappreciated. You know, Harding's next to him is the All-American.
Darrell Kenya punting for Penn State.
Greeley is the captain. He made all-conference second team. Centers are the guys that usually are the smaller ones and the brighter ones that have to make all the line calls.
Oregon's going after this one. Kenya in the end zone. Should hit it about the 1 yard line. They've got 10 ducks up there. But he gets it out. And a fair catch as Johnson lets it go. Well,
better get out of the way of it, young man.
He called his fair catch, and by not catching the ball, he gave away 10 yards. Wound up a 42-yard punt.
The most amazing thing about Digital's new 486 75 megahertz computer isn't that it can fit in your briefcase. It's that it fits, full-size screen, keyboard and all, in the envelopes in your briefcase. Introducing the Digital High Note Ultra. About 4 pounds light and 1 inch thin. The functionality of a notebook. The portability of, actually, an envelope.
And action! So when you get that craving for 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, remember, McDonald's Big Mac is only 95 cents all this month. Cut! Cut! Well, how did I do? Was it okay?
You just caused a major Big Mac attack. Can we move on, Mr. Townsend?
Sure, what's up next?
Egg McMuffin.
Is it 95 cents too?
Just for this month.
Then we'd better hurry up.
Monday. The day we get the world out of bed with a wake-up call of traffic horns, school bells, and factory whistles. And one truck is perfect for a busy day like today. Ford F-Series, with the most powerful diesel pickup engine ever, the convenience of a convertible console seat, and the safety of a standard airbag. More reasons why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck 17 years running. And that's a lot of Mondays.
There are the most important numbers you need to know. Time remaining and the score of the ball game. It is first down for the Oregon Ducks at their own 46-yard line. Danny O'Neill quickly to Ricketts. Cameron Ricketts running in the middle of the field. Will pick up the better part of 7 yards. O'Neill has 35 completions now, which is a new 34 completions, which is a new Rose Bowl record. That moves him past Ron Vanderkellen in that 1963 shootout between USC and Wisconsin. Here's Whittle. And Whittle getting down the sidelines for a big play and a first down at the Penn State 31-yard line.
Whittle getting the ball on screen plays to his best and fastest players. Ricketts on one play and Whittle on another.
He now totals 405 yards, and that also passes Ron Vanderkellen's record.
There's plenty of time left in this ball game, Keith.
31, Penn State. Willie Smith got him. Ball came out, but he was down. Willie Smith one-handed him and took him down for a loss back around the 35-yard line. ABC Sports coverage of the 1995 Rose Bowl, brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. Hidden Valley Ranch flavor Wavy Lane. Bet you can't eat just one. I got one more after this play. O'Neill throws that one intended for Kristen McLemore, thrown behind him, and Chris really didn't have a chance to catch it. And Digital Equipment Corporation, makers of the new digital high-note Ultra Notebook computer. Those are our sponsors. Time remaining is 9:08 in the ball game.
Look at those numbers. He's only missed 13 passes.
Now it's clutch time. 3rd and 14. Smith again. No, it's not Smith. It's Terry Killens. Killens with a great play.
O'Neill's pass broken up by...
They've had some great linebackers here, Keith.
Yeah, that Killens is going to be a thing.
Yeah, he plays behind Willie Smith. Remember a linebacker that was at Penn State that didn't get much notoriety till he got out of the Penn State, and that was Jack Ham.
Yep.
It's just the system. Once they get out of there, boy, they turn them loose.
4th down, they're going. Ball is out on the 35. 4th and 14. Oregon doesn't use the shotgun. Bull rush, pass away, pass is incomplete. Kristen McLemore had his hands on it. The ball was just a little too high for him to reel it in. That's 50 pass attempts now for Danny O'Neill, and that also beats a Ron Van de Kellen record.
Coming from your right side, man coverage. He's well covered, but look at the effort of McLemore. That's Brian Miller.
1st and 10.
He just gets this off. Look at the effort put forth here.
Almost put that thing in his pocket, didn't he?
He would have caught it if Miller hadn't have shaken it loose.
Yep. Mike Archie now is in the backfield with Brian Mills as the Nittany Lions take over at their own 35-yard line, and Mills with a strong run of 6 yards as the penalty flag is thrown on the far side of the field. And the clock stops at 8:49 to play in the game. Offsides, Oregon. You know, the story the other day was that Penn State now, they have a huge number of alumni here in the Southern California area. And someone said that they have the largest dues-paying alumni association in the country. And the story is, of course, that Michigan has
They used to tell me Michigan did.
the largest number of living alumni, but not necessarily dues-paying alumni.
Oh, I see.
Some of those Michigan guys got short arms. They're not paying their dues.
1st and 5.
Well, they're coming into this ball game. A note we alluded to a long time ago that Joe Paterno was even with Paul Bryant in postseason bowl game wins. And if his team wins this one today, and it appears kind of likely now that he is going to pass
Tackled by
Paul
Bryant
Bryant's
Jackson.
record. So it's been quite a day of records in this 81st Rose Bowl game. Now the big old fullbacks, Mills and Whitman, are going to start beating on the defenders of Oregon.
Colorado
Jump Notre Dame, 41 to 24. Huh?
McCartney goes out a winner. We wish him well. Nothing but the best.
Rick Neuheisel steps in behind him. Be one of the
4-yard gain.
There you go, Lick. If you didn't know what, let's get another shot of that. You know, if you didn't know who was at the top of that, it's almost becoming a trademark.
Well, do you know why he wears his
Oh, I
pants
sure
up?
do. I saw Sue the other night, and she told me that
Keep him from getting dirty.
back in the early 60s when he was an assistant coach, he wore his best breeches, and he'd get them dirty.
Right.
Come home dirty, and she'd say, roll them up. And, you know what? And coaches are superstitious as all get out, and he probably was winning, and he just because I'm sure he doesn't wear his best breeches now. He probably wears some coaching pants from the issue there at Penn State. But they get superstitious, and they just don't change.
Milne goes up the middle, picks up the first down. And at 8 minutes to play in a ball game, they can move the chains again. Wednesday night is special on ABC this week. You've got 3 of TV's funniest ladies and 2 great hours of comedy. Roseanne, Grace, another Roseanne, and then Ellen, starting at 8, 7 Central. Sam Donaldson, Diane Sawyer will be at Wednesday with a new primetime live in It's New Night. All of it Wednesday night here on ABC. 48-yard line. And line starts to grind it now. And breaking up the middle is Mike Archie. And Archie inside the 35. And the Oregon Ducks defense gets tired now.
You look at the offensive line. Brady is to the right, number 81. That's Rivera, number 54. The fullback is there, too. 81 gets a big block, buries his man to the inside. That's Bailey again. When you've got a tight end that can block and a fullback that can block, I mean, the offensive line is supposed to be able to block, but you get those 2 guys blocking, and your tailback's going to gain a lot of yardage.
From the 34. The Ducks respond as Kajana Carter comes into the ball game, and they roll him down short of the line of scrimmage. Now we go inside 7 minutes to play in the ball game.
Making the tackle.
Kajana Carter has started 18 games in his college career, and in 16 of those 18, he's gained over 100 yards. Seems a little bit disgusted that he's coming out of the game here today.
Collins quickly hits Freddie Scott, and Scott will get inside the 30, and that'll be first. They've got to go just near the 24 for it.
Alex Molden on the tackle.
There of about 8. The last Big Ten team to come into the Rose Bowl unbeaten and untied was Ohio State back in 1979, but the Southern California Trojans beat them 17-16.
It's interesting, the mix of teams we've had in the last few years, too. A lot of different teams. Wisconsin won from the Big Ten last year. Michigan 2 years ago.
That pass is swung out to Mike Archie, and Archie is knocked out of bounds, and he is hit short of the 25, which means he's short of the
Mike Archie.
I'll tell you what, they bring a freshness, a whole new ambiance, an enthusiasm that is wonderful.
Wisconsin last year, and then Oregon this year, and Penn State.
They put up a great big tent outside the Rose Bowl for those who couldn't get tickets. This was a tough ticket this year.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Big, one of those big screens.
3 yards on the play.
So if you just want to come to this area and be a part of the ambiance, not get inside with a ticket, but, you know, hang around.
Ain't a bad place to hang around. It's not shaking. 43-yard field goal try, a lot of leg, it's good. Rhett Conway from 43 makes it a 31-14 ball game, Penn State.
The deal of the year on Ford Taurus is now even better because your lease payment is now even lower. Just $237 a month for 24 months on Taurus sedan or wagon. Or you can choose low 2.9% financing or $750 cash back. Don't wait to take advantage of these 3 great offers on Taurus sedan and wagon, because the deal that makes the best-selling car in America an even greater value ends January 4th. Ford Taurus.
Gosh, the sky is so clear. Hey, look, a shooting star.
That means you're going to go on a trip.
No, it doesn't. It means you're supposed to make a wish. Hey, Gene, what would you wish for? Well, I wish my radio would work better. No, really. Well, I wish I could go to some really neat places.
I'm going to St. Louis with my cousin.
And I want to go to college and learn about things you kind of don't understand. And I'd like to be in a ticker tape parade and meet a president. And I'd like to be able to fly
For over 150 years, America's universities have given kids from everywhere the chance to pursue their dreams through an education. And what their dreams have given back to us is immeasurable.
Gosh, Gene, what are you going to ask for next? The moon?
Kick it off to Oregon.
Brent Conway kicking off for Penn State.
That field goal by Penn State there, quite large. It means Oregon's got to score 3 times. That'll be pretty hard. That'd be pretty hard if they had 25 minutes and 43 seconds. But I'll say this, the Oregon Ducks didn't leave anything in the saddlebag, did they?
And they've come and had a good showing, too. This is their first 9-win season for Oregon in 46 years.
To the 18, and there the Ducks start. Andy O'Neill, who has been a big record setter in this ball game, comes out at quarterback. O'Neill has what now?
Redden making the tackle.
Yardage, attempts, and completion.
Grew up in this area too, didn't he, Keith?
He's from Newport.
Yeah, a lot of the, in fact, 52 of the 94 players on this Oregon roster are from the state of California.
So Oregon still got one grass school.
I mean, they don't have a lot of, not many people up there.
The way they want it. Here's a little bit of a delay with Chillior trying to pop out of there, and Dino can't quite get it done. He gets up to about the 20.
Ben Stewart making the tackle.
Took him under. Probably Gelsizer. He's in the neighborhood, and if he's in the neighborhood, normally he's got a piece of the action. Willie Smith shows blitz. Pass hit off the back of Cameron Ricketts because O'Neill had to throw it so quickly because he saw that big old backer blitzing right up the middle. Atkins, he was right in his face.
Defending.
This is the 31st different possession in this ball game. In other words, Oregon's had the ball 16 times and Penn State's had it 15 times.
Normally, you'll have it maybe 11 or 12, 10, 11 or 12 times. If you have long possessions, obviously you won't have it but 7 or 8, but been a lot of short possessions.
And that won't get him the first down as McLemore makes the catch.
O'Neill's pass completed to Kristen McLemore. Jason Collins making the tackle.
Let's see what they decide to do on 4th down, way back here on their end of the field. If they go for it and don't get it, then they've pretty well conceded points to Penn State at the 4:45 to play in the ball game.
You're down 17 with 4 minutes to play.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Look out.
Yeboah Cody. Bill Yeboah Cody, and Penn State will own the football down around the Oregon 13-yard line.
Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, has finally found an area where he can blitz and get in and sack. There's Sandusky.
That's the first time Jerry's had a smile.
Yes.
Since he came west.
From the top of the screen, one of the outside linebackers, Yeboah Cody and Willie Smith. Left side, the guard tries to get out. That's Reed, 71. Smith sacking him, and Yeboah Cody. They've reached the low water mark for Penn State in scoring this year. They scored, the lowest coming in was 31 points against Michigan. That was the lowest they've scored. They've reached that now. They got 31, and it looks like they may get more.
Making the tackle.
That was John Whitman carrying the ball, fullback. He's at 238 pounds, and Brian Milne 253 pounds. And they can line those two up in a bull backfield and make life real hard for you.
what I enjoy is when they get on the goal line, they got both fullbacks in the game, Whitman and Milne, and they take the highfalutin running back, John Carter, take him out of the backfield and put him on the wing and let him block for the two big backs.
All at the 9-yard line. They give it to Whitman. He's down to the goal line, but not in. Oh, they call him in. He tumbles over. I thought he was short.
I thought he was too, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. No.
9 yards.
So Penn State will finish the season scoring 51 straight times when they have been in what is called the red zone. He's down a yard short of the goal line. They gave him 6 there. He was down.
I don't think they gave him. Maybe they gave him one play earlier. They would have got
Mike Barneger is in for the extra point try, number 88. Mike Barneger. So he gets a chance to pop one up and through. So it is now in the bank at 4:24 to play in the game. Penn State 38 and Oregon 14. And Joe Paterno is on his way to his 16th postseason bowl win, which takes him past Paul William Bryant. Good friends, those two. I talked to Joe about what he thought he could accomplish and what he now has, in fact, accomplished, and that's past Barry Bryant.
You know, when Paul was alive, Paul was for some reason or other took an interest in me and my career, and was a big help to me. He'd call me every once in a while about what I was making, my contract, and try to give me some advice. He had me down to a couple of coaches' clinics down there, and I, you know, yeah, I'd love to be able to say, hey, I did something Paul Bryant didn't do. Yeah, I would. I'd be honest with you. And not in the sense of personal, because I think he's probably up there saying that little whippersnapper from Brooklyn, you know, kind of thing.
But he's done it. He has 16 wins in the postseason. Conway kicks it. High in the air. A lot of air. Ball is taken by Whittle at about the 6-yard line. And he's across the 25. Now the Ducks can take another shot at it. But I think the issue has been resolved.
And you got to give the coaching staff credit and the players, Keith, for having known what the result was last night. Nebraska won.
Hey, we're number one. You got to give us at least one of them. You got to get at least one of them polls. We're number one. We're number one. At least one of them. We're number one. Got to give it to us.
John, we don't have a vote.
We're going to score against James Green defense.
Well, there was a little lobbying for some votes. I'm just going to say the players and the coaches of Penn State came out and took care of business.
Josh Wilcox made that catch, so he's all right, Mama.
Completed to Josh Wilcox.
Josh got himself a tattoo, though, and his Mama wasn't too happy about that. His younger brother, incidentally, is quite a quarterback out of high school in Junction City, Oregon, and just this past week committed to going to school at Oregon. So the Wilcox name carries on at the University of Oregon. That's the first down as Cameron Ricketts makes the catch and moves it over to the Penn State side of the field.
Keith, I'll ask you a question. This Penn State offense leads the nation in total offense and scoring. What's the best offense you've seen this year?
This one, probably.
Florida, Colorado.
No, I like this one.
Florida State.
I'll tell you why I like this one. I like this one because of the balance.
Run and pass.
Yep. Even though Oregon has controlled the passing game relatively well, I mean, you can't see Jurevicius coming in and making the big play the two big plays he made. You don't expect it. But at the same time, give Danny O'Neal all the credit in the world for doing what he's done today.
Penn State averaging 250 yards a game on the ground and 270 yards through the air. How about the most exciting game we had this year? End of the year?
Yes, it's Whittle down the sideline. Ducks haven't quit. They sure have at the 25-yard line. I thought the SEC championship game was pretty good.
Great game, wasn't it?
Yep.
How about the Yeah, Florida State is coming up. A rematch is coming up right after this game, and there you are.
USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl game.
Yep.
And how about that show up in Ann Arbor between Colorado and Michigan?
How about the most exciting play of the year?
Well, you got to go with that catch in the Michigan-Colorado, I suppose.
Yeah, it was...
I'll tell you, there's a play, though, that was made in the Auburn-Alabama game. And I went back and looked just to make sure that I had not been deceived by my own eyes. The Damian Jeffries play where he jumps up in the air, slapped the ball, intercepted the pass after putting pressure on Nix. That was a pretty good football play. But
how about some of the play calling in that game with Spurrier? Spurrier making some of those calls. That was not bad. But the best individual performance. I'll give you a clue, my vote. Texas-Colorado game?
Yeah, some fellow named Salam.
Over 300 yards rushing, wasn't it? Something like that.
And part of it with a mild concussion.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You know, one thing...
He's supposed to make his announcement shortly. Well, I don't think Oregon ought to hang their head. They've done just fine.
From the start of the season when they were
going to the end zone. Incomplete. That's a good defensive play. Pat Johnson, the speedster, was down there, but it was a very good play by the Penn State defender.
From behind the offense,
Brian Miller, I think, is the man that came across to make the play on
top right. You're right,
yep.
Miller went to the same high school as Joe Montana and yes, and baseball's Ken Griffey Sr.
Josh Wilcox again with another catch. So Josh had a huge first quarter, big first half, got rattled around some and was quiet in the third quarter, but now he's showing up again. But the man who did the thing for Penn State here in the second half of play, his name's Sandusky. The way he moved, the adjustments he had his defense make. That's Wilcox again for the first down. He's across past the marker, and he's got his first down.
Keith, there was a time during the season that Penn State and Nebraska were split, number one. One was 1-1 poll, and it was going into the first week in November. In fact, Penn State was playing at Indiana. They ended up winning the game 35-29, but there were 2 late touchdowns by Indiana in the last 2 minutes, and one of them was a Hail Mary, and after that point, Nebraska was number 1 in both polls. And prior to that, it was a split poll. So
O'Neill threw that one away.
Yeah.
Incomplete, intended for Josh Wilcox.
Well, you know, my feeling on that is there's quite a gap in both of the polls between first and second, first place votes, right? Now, if all of a sudden you get a big flip-flop in one of the polls, then what those guys are admitting is they've been wrong all along. Well, I don't think you're going to see that. I don't think you'll see that much of a flip-flop.
Penn State had some problems on the road. They had problems at Illinois.
Whittle trying to find his way down the sidelines, and he is finally pounded down at about the 5-yard line.
I like the gun.
Looks like he might get in for 6.
I like the fight of this young Oregon team.
It is a young team.
Yes,
too.
it is. O'Neill won't be back. But
Graziani is waiting in the wings.
Yes, he is.
Tony Graziani.
They lose the fullback, Jones. They lose O'Neill and 1 offensive lineman, and the rest of them will be back.
He was the young fellow that came down to the Coliseum and beat USC.
Yes, he did. The left-hander, sidewinder.
Got a big frame. He might put on some weight, too. Third down and very, very short. Whittle didn't get it. Now, on second effort, he's going to get it. Look at him ride the back of that big old offensive side. Harden and company. Tafsi Malafei. So So they'll have their first down, it appears, and if so, that'll stop your clock at 2:57. And it'll be first down and goal Oregon at the Penn State 3. Won't matter much in the ultimate outcome, but it will matter to the Oregon Ducks and their faithful. O'Neal throws beyond the end zone. Incomplete. McLemore and Christian was well off the field to play. McLemore has 10 catches for 103 yards. Wilcox 10 catches for 130 yards. Ricketts 7 catches for 74 yards. Phil Yaw 6 catches for 80 yards. Then mix in the others.
Christian McLemore set a record with his 20th touchdown reception of his career. That moved him ahead of Bobby Moore, or you may know him as Ahmad Rashad.
Weddle touchdown. Ricky Weddle scampers in for 6.
Insignificant points that Oregon is putting on the board either, because the kids that are coming back to this program next year will remember that they fought to the final bell at this Rose Bowl game, and they'll want to come back.
And Rich Brooks kind of standing in awe of all of his new friends until they all found out there were no tickets available. Going for 2. McLemore didn't get in. He did not get in. Penzinik was defending on the play, and if there is a Walter Mitty in this ball game today,
there you go.
It would be Chuck Penzinik. First start. Nobody knew how to pronounce his name hardly. Joe probably had to look it up. Started him at free safety.
He was a cornerback before all the injuries hit.
Wonderful. That's one of the, to me, that's one of the great things about college athletics.
Again, let me remind you.
And Joe was saying, you know, he'll probably make some mistakes. We'll probably have to live with it. But, you know, he's going to do all right the majority of the time. Well, he's intercepted 2 balls. He's made some key plays on other balls, made some nice tackles. These 2 coaches getting votes in several different polls for Coach of the Year. Rich Brooks getting in some of the polls, and the ones that didn't vote for Rich, certainly Joe Paterno got the rest of them.
He should.
Matt Belden kicking off for Oregon.
How about tough luck player of the year? A guy that maybe got hurt.
Well, I think Tyrone Wheatley had a tough.
Wheatley did have a tough year. Tommy Frazier. How about Tommy Frazier?
Tommy Frazier. But he ended it at a considerable trend fashion.
How about Jerry Copeland at Tennessee?
Yeah, that's the ultimate. Onside kick. Penn State covers it, and the Nittany Lions have the ball at the 45 of Oregon, and it looked like Bobby Ingram probably was the man on the ball.
J.J. Stokes at USC. I mean, it's UCLA. Yeah.
But, you know, the heartbreak of heartbreaks had to be Jerry Colquitt right here.
Yeah.
In the Rose Bowl against UCLA. That was really
waited his turn behind
Penn State.
Heath Schuler, 5th-year senior. He finally got his chance to play.
Here goes Carter. And Deshaun Carter is out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
The ball carrier.
38-20. And the Penn State frontliners are still in there.
I think they'd get some of the backups in there to get a little playing time in the Rose Bowl, huh?
Well, looks like Wally Richardson may be the heir apparent. Yep. Graziani, the heir apparent of Oregon. Not necessarily so.
Penn State offense doesn't lose too many players either.
This is Brian Mills.
The ball carrier.
Both fullbacks are back. Both Ingram and Scott, the wide receivers,
are back. Freddie Scott,
Jeremy Asher, the
Campbell's only a sophomore.
They lose one offensive lineman, that's the center. Carter is a redshirt junior. He might be back. Of course, they lose Brady. I got one other thing for you, Keith. I worked with you for a long time here, 7, 8 years. Most memorable moments.
When?
This year.
This year?
Yeah. Of the year. Sticks out in my mind like it was the...
Well, I fell down on the floor the night at the Coliseum when you got stuck in the elevator. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, no. Well, well, that was I was going to talk about the same game, but something a little bit different. When all the power went out, and I'm watching you broadcast with a telephone. Oh,
I've done that before.
Oh, boy. I said, here is the main man, Mr. College Football, doing a broadcast on a telephone.
Work.
I'll never forget that. Oh, boy.
24-yard line. Here goes Milne the other way, and they're just pounding now, just pounding as we come up on 1:20 to play. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's College Football is Bob Goodrich, who also produced today's game, who also produced the game in Green Bay on Saturday, and he's crazy. He's working pretty hard. Associate coordinating producer for college football is Jim Ressler, directed by Drew Esikoff, who was also running around all over the country this weekend. Our technical director, Gary, yeah, you can crazy too. Technical director, Gary Larkins. Associate director, Bruce Clark. Production manager, Joe Alvarado. Our technical operations managers, plays up in the middle, Claude Phipps and Jerry Reuter. Assistants to the producer, Steve Shunk and Brady Bass. Statistician, Dave Burnson. Our spotter, Todd Berry. Our computer stats by Mark Amento. And our sideline coordinator, Doug Johnson. I'm Keith Jackson, working with Bob Tracy, Lynn Swan, who worked in Miami last Saturday. Well, I feel like I'm very lucky. I've had it pretty easy this past weekend. Wally Richardson is now in at quarterback for Penn State. Final seconds ticking away. This will do it. This is Stephen Pitts. And the game is over. The Penn State Nittany Lions defeat the Oregon Ducks 38-20. And untied, undefeated Penn State Nittany Lions. Lynn Swan, try to get a word with him when we come back.
Introducing Ford Contour. Gold, a world car for the 21st century. Example, the advanced quadrillink rear suspension. It was designed to allow rear wheels to adjust in sync with the front, giving Contour precise control in cornering and braking. Then it was put through 2 million miles of rigorous testing just to make sure. The totally new Ford Contour, well equipped for just $14,655.
You can't play in the Super Bowl, but Edge can get you closer than ever in the Edge Ultimate Super Bowl Instant Win Game. If you win, you and a friend will head to the sidelines with NFL Films on an all-expense-paid trip to Super Bowl 29 in Miami. Just look for this ad in most Sunday papers January 15th for your chance to...
President of the Tournament of Roses, Mike Ward, with head coach Joe Paterno. Mike?
Joe, on behalf of the Tournament of Roses, City of Pasadena, a great day for the Big Ten. We are so pleased and happy to have you here for the first time. Let me help give you this trophy.
Joe, congratulations on that win. It's your second year in the Big Ten. Some people were concerned you'd win this Rose Bowl trophy the first year. It just took you one extra one.
Well, it's nice to hear that kind of stuff, but we feel very fortunate that we were able to come out here this year and beat a fine Oregon football team that played really hard, played tough, and we're very honored that we were able to play against people like that and be fortunate enough to win. I'm glad we won for Penn State, and I'm glad we won for the Big Ten. But more importantly, I thought it was a great college football game, and I think college football won today.
Sounds like to me, Joe, that you believe in your heart that this is the best team in the country.
Well,
there are a few thousand people here who voice their opinion, Joe.
Well, I think I'll have to agree with them.
Well, Joe, let's talk a little bit about the ball game, the things that surprised you in it.
Well, nothing surprised me. I talked to Richie Brooks when we had our press conference. He asked me what was going to win it. I said defense and kicking will win it. It'll win any tough game when you had a team that plays defense as well as Oregon. And our defense played a great football game today under a lot of pressure. And our kicking game was outstanding. And our offense, when they were being pressured, kept their poise, and we ended up playing a good, solid football game.
Coach, you know a lot of people are going to ask you how you would feel about a national championship playoff.
Well, I've always wanted a playoff. That's nothing new with me. I've always wanted a playoff.
Well, Joe, that's terrific. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Let's go back to Keith Jackson.
Okay, Swanee. Congratulations to Joe and his entire staff. Great University, Penn State. Final score, Nittany Lions 38, the Oregon Ducks 20. And you've got Florida State and Florida left to watch. So find a comfortable chair and enjoy. Good night from Pasadena.
A promotional fee has been paid by Northwest Airlines.